Hear me? Are we ready? I'm gonna make it. Thanks, Barry. We do have a really amazing track this weekend. We have 12 miles long, Stu. This is a little bit longer than these guys are used to. Not to mention the sun is shining. Everything is good to go. We're just about to go here for racing. Rodney's letting everybody know it's time to shut their engines down. It's time to go GNCC racing. I'm going to pass it over to Rodney Tomlin now.
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? Come on, Ohio. Like I said, this is the heart. Seconds, and row number 1, the XC1 Pro, will be off and rolling at our ITP Powerline Park GNCC. Whole shot award. Wow, we got a major crash there on the start line, and that's not a good sign. But we've got the 521 and got the 521. Rider down up here. It is the number 4, Chris Bethel, fresh off his first win of 2013. And Chris went down, unfortunately, pretty hard there. Chris is getting up, though. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris is up. Chris is up, and we're ready to go with row number 2, XC2 Pro-Am class. We got a stage set here as well, my friends, as the XC2 Pro-Am class ready to roll. Landon Wolf, Josh Merritt, Blake Kramer, also the 591, Pat McGuire, and many more ready to roll here in the XC2 Pro-Am classes. We got a $100 whole shot award up for grabs in this one. 10 seconds for row number 2, the XC2 Pro-Am class. Chris Bethel threading bullets there just ahead of the XC2 Pro-Am class now after that major get-off. What an amazing feat for him, and I missed who got the whole shot. What was the number on that? I missed it. All right, Junior A 22+ class coming up next. We got Nathan Hornacek, Matthew Limberti, Wes Kinsley, also John Cunningham, Luke Upal, Michael Marley, Martin Christopherson, Dustin Hendershot, Jordan Dodson, Chuck Norris, Doug Harden, Jake Stonebreaker, Ryan Mavis, and Michael Merrill ready to roll in 10 seconds. And we got a great battle. Nathan Hornacek, the 88, nearly grabbing the early lead in this one, but it's going to be the 489. That is Michael Marley out of Osgood, Indiana, grabbing the early lead in this one. The Vet 828 Plus class coming up next. We got riders like Todd Demery, Jim Edwards, James Brown, Bill Marstiller, also Brian Folds, Corey Blinkiewicz, Travis Nichols. We got Christopher O'Neill, Arthur Blystone, Josh Whitehead, and more in less than 10 seconds. Ricky Towery waves the green flag, and the bikes are off. It's the 29 machine. Todd Demery, Sick Racing, Hauser Racing sponsored rider out of Versailles, Indiana, snagging the early lead in this one. He's got the 939. Matt Pierce out of Corning, Ohio, running in a close second place position. As we turn our attention to the College A class now, it's Jay Shadron on that Yamaha-backed machine, GBC tires backed by Waynesburg Yamaha. Clint Graff, also Tyler Wares, Levi Cohen, Doug Howarth, Brian Post, Derek Pitzer on the Buchanan Racing machine, Dakota Morgan, Tristan Hubman, Kevin McCowan, also Blake Torrance, Greg Covert, Cole Richardson, Anthony Herring, Cole Shiflett, Mitch Miller, and Marshall Goings in 10 seconds. The College A 16 to 21. Lots of grip into this as these riders are getting great starts here today. Early lead to 997, Marshall Goings. And that could be all over but the crying right there, my friends. Once Goings gets out front like that, that man is hard to control. But we've got a host of College A class competitors vying for that same spot as we look to the senior AB 40-plus class coming up next. Riders like Brian Schmidt, John Glotta Sr., Leroy Shook, Rusty Repass, David Kite, and Mark Spatero. In his senior AB 40-plus class, 6 riders set to roll in 10 seconds. And they're off. Well, most of them anyway. And rounding the turn, the battle wages on. Junior B 22-plus class coming up next. Jesse Kelly, who is the husband of a up-and-coming possible Mrs. West Virginia here pretty soon. Also Charles Wilson, Travis Stenley, Robbie Carreri, William White, Alan Blavos, Richard Nolan, Joseph Middleton, Justin Farrell, Jason Dillard, Zachary Lipson, Aaron Prigdon, also Robert Mapp, Kevin Patterson, Drew Carl, Cole Williamson, Brandon Lauer, Peter Wharton, James Black, Ricky Cook, Walter Shoemaker, and more in 10 seconds. Also Dustin Dickerson, Mark Somerville, and Nathan Pierce. Junior B 22-plus off and rolling. Wow. Nice. Maneuvering through the first turns there. Whoa! That, my friends, is called cutting that one a little too short. And it is not a forgiving first or second turn there, I tell you. None whatsoever forgiving. We got the Vet B 30-plus class coming up next. We got Aaron Delancey, Jeffrey Flynn, Wayne Brown, Todd Muscala, Daniel Webb, Super Trap, Mike Trapp on that John Hinder or Honda Power Sports machine. Also, we got Jamie Bonner, John Marmel, Joe Krasalik, Troy Nicholson, Brandon Sims, Michael Comont, Michael Daughtery, Brian Roush, Sean Lilly, Jared Ross, Big Willie Porter, Jack Swires, and Jeremy Gouchard in 10 seconds. It's the 68 Todd Muscala from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, grabbing gears once again. Wow, man, these guys are hungry for the start out here today. Bump and grind action all the way through on that one. College B 16 to 21-year-old class, our final row starting here. It got the longest start of the day up into that first turn. Billy Hartman, Bryson Hobbs, Jeremy Hill, Joshua Daines, Brigham Patterson, Austin Erb, Levi Metzinger, Christopher Childers, Cole Smith, Brett Fike, also Morgan Flannery, Devin Masters, Joseph Salina, Kristen Meyer, Tyler McDaniel, Andrew Phillips, Justin Hess, and more in 10 seconds. Keep an eye on the 419. Emily Wise, that young lady, going to go for another hole shot here today at the ITP Powerline Park GNCC. She's got her hands full today, though, folks, but does she do it? Thread and needles. Whoa! And she does it once more. Emily Wise grabs another hole shot, and the early lead as this young lady leads them into the woods one more time from the College B class. Wow, what a spectacular start. Don't think she didn't work for that one, folks. Wow, what a great day, no doubt, as we roll into our 12th round of the GNCCs, this ITP Powerline Park GNCC round 12 of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Championship. And with that, a great start to a possibly epic day of racing here in St. Clairsville, Ohio. We'll be back with more GNCC Live on RacerTV.com right after this.
300 searing degrees. 750 pounds of metal twisting torque. 900 hard charging horses. You will never punish your motor oil like this. But it's good to know you could. AMSOIL. Push it to the limit.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATV MC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of tires, ATV and UTV accessories, and OEM parts, to our online chat, customer reviews, and instructional videos. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Hi, this is Tanner Harding, and today we're going to take a walk around Caleb's 2013 KTM 350 XCF. One of the coolest things about Caleb Russell's bike is it's pretty much all stock. You can go right into your KTM dealer and you can get an XC model, and it's great for trails, it's great for racing, it's a great all-around bike. So that's the 2013 KTM 350 XCF. I'm Tanner Harding. Thanks for checking it out.
VP fuels are the most consistent race fuel. It gives us the best throttle response. Any racer using pump gas should consider using VP. It offers bigger performance gains for your money than any other hard part. And the tuning change is easy when you switch to one of VP's entry-level fuels. We will not be as successful without VP.
VP Racing Fuels, purpose-built to take the lead and keep you there.
300 searing degrees. 750 pounds of metal twist.
And welcome back to St. Clairsville, Ohio, on a cool, crisp autumn afternoon where the whole state of Ohio typically is tuned in to Ohio State Buckeye football. But not this day in mid-October, with the trees on fire and in full bloom here in the extreme eastern part of Ohio, overlooking Wheeling, West Virginia, just a mile or two away from the Ohio River. We come here to the AMSOIL GNCC round here. This is the ITP Powerline Park. Tim Cotter in the booth here today with Jen Kenyon. Jen, it was a dandy of a start here. Big crowd on hand.
Oh, yeah, there was tons of people down there for this 1 p.m. start. We actually had one of our largest pro classes of the whole entire season today. I think we had 14 or 15 guys lined up, and you know what? They all hit that first corner, and they were bumping and grinding, but it looks like most of them made it through. We did see Chris Bethel go down on the start. He was up and going. I can see him probably 10 to 15 seconds behind the pack, but after that win.
He was stoved up. I was there when he went down. Number 4 went down. In fact, we had to call for medical attention. He was really stoved up. We got the bike flipped back over. We got him on the bike, and he had to get the cobwebs out before he was able to rejoin the pack.
Right there?
He was just 5 seconds ahead of the second row that was already on a delay. because of Chris Bethel that found himself on the ground. Folks, when you tune in to GNCC Live, and those of you that are here with us today, again, a Chamber of Commerce Day here in Ohio. As we look now down for the first mud hole, it looks like an old Blackwater River crossing. Not so. It is a mud hole. Powerline Park, mind you, is a very historic place here in eastern Ohio, as many riders come here on any given weekend. It is a riding park for off-road vehicles. But it is this time, it is this weekend, every October, that we all converge here for competition. And the top ATV and motorcycle riders on the planet come here to the Buckeye State to celebrate their off-road heritage. So, again, moments away from our first rider, as he should be coming through the mud hole anytime. Stuart Baylor is now checked in to the CarMate Trailer Studio here at GNCC Live. How are you, Stu?
I'm doing great. I heard you guys talking as I was coming in about the crash. I stopped and talked with Joe Gorage. He said, yeah, what happened with Bethel was just he caught tires and flipped him. He said it flipped twice on him. The first time he was squirming, it laid him out pretty good that second time. And he said he was cross-eyed whenever he got on the quad, but he knew he had to go. And they pushed him. They urged him to get out before the XC2 guys got in there, so he didn't have to pass those guys back, because that'd be really hard to start from behind, you know. So they jumped him out there as quick as they could and got him back going. And you know, hopefully he's not too cross-eyed to catch back up to the tail end of the group.
It's a whole new definition of hooking up. Your tire's hooking up, and in that case, it was the wrong way. And now you can see that our GNCC crew, our RacerTV crews, are anxiously awaiting the arrival of the first group of riders. You can see it's a beautiful day here. Shorts and short sleeves here, probably in the low 80s on a beautiful day here. The rider, or the person on the right side of the screen, for those of you that are watching at home, on the right side of the screen, and those of you that are sitting around the paddock area, we are looking at looks like what would be a very nice bass fishing pond with a individual, one of the mud fleas, standing right in the middle. He's got a stick. The water is over his kneecaps, so that is about 24 inches deep.
That's actually the shallow part of this. This is actually the famous Gus's mud hole. This is it's got some really deep spots in it. Guys come back here, you know, you said that it was a open park. Well, they're coming back there in the Jeeps and they're just trying to dig it out and have fun in it. Well, that makes it for a really rough day whenever you're trying to throw the bikes and the quads in here. It's a little bit deeper than you want, you know, getting up over the seat on the quads and, you know, coming up in the air box on the bike side of things. And you know, this particular mud hole has, you can see on the left side of the screen, the bottom left, there's a rock sticking out. There's a couple big rocks that you got to watch out for. You don't really know when you're just going to come up on one, take out the front end, and go down, plow it into the water, and submerge your quad or box.
Here we go. This is at mile marker 7. Adam Mcgill. Adam Mcgill, first one in. He goes to the left and goes sort of around the mud hole, and it looks like the rest of the pro riders are going to follow. There's the number 1. Gorage now comes around into the number 2 position. It is somewhat dusty. Now some of the riders are going to the other side of the mud hole. None of them have gone right through the center of it as of yet. They know how deep it is. And the dust, you can see it has been very dry here in eastern Ohio, and this makes it very, very challenging as these riders try to get visibility over this 12-mile loop here at Powerline Park. The ITP Powerline Park is underway here in eastern Ohio. Tim Cotter, Stu Baylor, Rodney Tomlin, and Jen Kenyon in the CarMate studios here at GNCC Live. Hashtag # GNCC Live. Stu, now, is this the way you would have gone?
Obviously, there's two lines around this mud hole. You know, you've got the obvious left line. There's also the right line. So Walker Ballard. And I think the right line's a little bit quicker. There's more of a chance of it getting blown out as the race goes on. The left line over there, it's actually on the right side of the screen. It's always held up really good. It's got a solid rock bottom. The right line every single year, towards the end of the day, it starts getting blown out. You know, the ruts start getting pretty nasty, and then you get to where you're sinking your quad in there, getting stuck. There's also the bigger rocks seem to be on that left side of the mud hole, so you really got to watch watch out for that. It looks like there's Chris Bethel now, so he's actually made up some time, because I think he's about 2 minutes off those guys. I don't think he's been quite 2 minutes yet. Maybe he's cross-eyed, Joe Boy said. Yeah, he's doing what he needs to do.
It seemed like an eternity, Stu, but it really wasn't a full 2 minutes. It wasn't much more than a minute of that, because the XC2 Pro-Am started not much off of the minute start time frame that we were talking about. It just seemed like an eternity because so many folks were worried about Chris at that particular time. But regardless, man, like you say, he's made up some major time out there, and we're seeing the aftermath of a very wet summer out here right now. And Gus's mud hole, a traditional style mud hole that we've grown accustomed to over the years. But the one thing about it is it's gotten wider over the years, so it's as cool as it is. A lot of the riders are electing to go the long way around, as many of them just don't want to take that chance of actually drowning out their machines. And ATVs are a little different than motorcycles when it comes to water crossing. They got a lot more opportunity to splash water up on their bikes and stuff, so it's a whole different ball game whenever it comes to these guys right now. XC2 leader coming into sight now, and it is Landon Wolf. Now, did he grab the hole shot? Was he the one to grab the hole shot?
I'm not sure. I was actually still paying attention to this one, because he actually got the XC2 hole shot. He slid out right before they got it.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That was the same thing. I didn't know if he was going to get out of the way of him, but it was pretty neat and good to see, like you see, Chris Bethel back up and on the bike and making up some major ground out there. What we're watching right now on GNCC Live here on RacerTV.com is the historic Gus's mud hole. Like we said, this is a mud hole that has taken on different shapes and is much bigger than it used to be, and not as gnarly of a section of the track, but again, the big thing about it there is the water end of it, and I made mention of it a few moments ago, Stu. I know you're a motorcycle rider, and the way that these kind of sections right here are attacked are a little bit different just because of the characteristics of where the bike sits and the carburetors and the breathers and things of that nature.
Yeah, you know, there's the Yamaha filter bike, at least, they've got this right under the tank, so they can plow through these mud holes or water holes like this. Than most other bikes where the water can slide right in and, you know, come down from under the seat, like you said, come right into the airbox and drown on the bike, and it just takes a little bit of water and your day's done. You know, it's happened to most guys out here. I've had it once or twice. I had it happen. You know, it sucks. You think back to that, man, like, oh, I should have taken that line, but you know, when you're out here, you're kind of cloudy minded, you're just thinking about winning, and you totally forget about these other things.
Speaking of cloudy minded, look right there leading into Gus's mud hole right now. There's something that we haven't seen a whole lot of in 2013, and that simply is dust. And it's kind of a welcome change, believe it or not. And unfortunately, it's not enough to hamper any of the racing whatsoever, but what it is enough to, well, be noteworthy, I'm sure, because I'm just not used to seeing dust, man. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it does change some things. You can't really get too far off the guy literally won't be right there. You can see his back tires. You know, you can't really see too much else, so you gotta keep right off his back end, see what he's doing. And you know, as far as the quads, they're kicking up a lot more dust as the bikes are. So, you know, I'm sure these guys are that. And another thing to think about is, you know, I know I've been 30 miles from the track, and it hasn't got above 70 all week long. I've been up here for 11 days, and it hasn't been above 70. It's been about 60 degrees days, so, you know, it's definitely changed for most of the guys out there. You know, a little bit of heat. The guys that are coming up, used to know, you know, they're coming out of this and thinking it was going to be a little different, but it's a pretty hot day out there today. You know,
It is.
It's pretty hot.
It is, and I was looking at the weather forecast, and it was originally calling, I think, for like 74-degree temperatures, but I think it's a little warmer than that. I dressed for much warmer or cooler temperatures than what we obviously have out there, and I'm paying the price for it, that's for sure. But continuing to watch Gus's mud hole, the next time we see our leaders, it'll be right after some of the most technical and treacherous parts of this racetrack, and I wouldn't necessarily call them treacherous, but I like to call that big Powerline mud hole. I like to see that big Powerline mud hole you know, the aftermath of that, because so many things change out there. As we're watching some replays of that first turn crash there with Chris Bethel, looks like just simply a couple guys got together. It happens in open wheel racing like that, and that's basically what happened. They just got a little too close.
Yeah, like George said, he touched wheels on either side and started flipping it. I think I actually counted 3 flips there. He flipped all the way just about to the first turn.
Wow, rung his bell for sure. So here we are. We are at 22:50, almost 23 minutes now into this race. And we are past the 7-mile marker. Leaders are approaching now the 10-mile marker, which is the actual pro pit area of the racetrack here. And then, of course, we'll be at about the 12.3-mile marker when these riders reach the finish line. We'll call it technically the 12, but realistically it's about 12.3-mile track, according to Jeff Russell, as he had given us this race. Now, here's a couple of other notes. We've been talking about the things, talked about, you know, the hype, obviously, Chris Borge and his championship run and things like that. We are looking right now at something pretty historical in the way of one of the riders out there, and that, of course, is Bryson Neal, who wrapped up the XC2 Pro-Am Class Championship in Foxburg a couple of weeks ago. Took the #1 plate, elected, well, at least for this weekend anyway, not to be defending that #1 plate, as he'll be taking to the took to the XC1 Pro Road #1 this morning, or this afternoon, and trying his hands out there as a pro rider. And that's pretty neat, because just 2 years ago, he was a college A rider.
Yeah, you know, I mean, of course, apparently the ultimate goal is to get to that XC1 class. So, you know, he's just trying to get there. He's got the XC2 title, and the main goal is what's at hand. And he's got to go out there and see if he can run with these guys and get ready for next year. You know, prepare himself mentally and physically. You know where he needs to be to run with these guys for the next year and years to come. So, you know, getting out here and playing with the big dogs, I guess you could say, is exactly where he needs to be, and see where his speed is, see the places where he needs to improve his weaknesses, and you know, just get ready to use it.
You know, traditionally, it seems like a lot of those guys that make that step up, Stu, really appear to do well their first time out after stepping up a class. We saw that same thing happen, if I'm not mistaken, last season with Braden Henthorne, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, you know, you get to see these guys, and if not him, I mean, it happens often. You see it, these guys, they run up in a solid top 5, pushing for podium position finishes and so forth and so on their first time out. And then whenever we see them back the following year, it's a whole different rider. They don't seem to have the spark and the energy. And I don't know if it's a matter of the confidence, they beat themselves up over the winter or what, but right now Bryson probably couldn't have picked a better time to make that step up to the XC1 Pro class.
Well, it's definitely a big change, and you know, for Bryson, he's already got the championship. This is his hometown race. You know, he's in Ohio, so you know, I'm sure this is the place that he would have done. Be a better day for him. You know, just to get out there and test the waters, I guess you could say, and see kind of where he stands in the XC1 class and against those guys. And you know, like I said, just to be able to prepare himself for next season, you know,
right,
is the ultimate goal.
And maybe put a little bug in their ear that, hey, Bryson's coming. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if he shows that he can get top 3, even a top 5, you know, they know this guy's going to be soon. Chris Borge is going to have another.
Exactly. You know, as we continue to watch, we're 26.5 minutes into this one now. We should be coming to our pro pits here soon, the 10-mile marker with our XC1 Pro class, and I think they might be coming through right now. And here comes the XC1 Pro class leader, Adam Mcgill, out front in this one. As you can see, he is not slowing down any. I don't even think he looked for a pit board, to be honest with you.
He just held up a #1.
Look at that. There's the #1 of Chris Borge, and he's probably a good 5 seconds plus back behind him now.
9 seconds.
9 seconds. Wow. I was trying to give him a little credit. Was that Fowler going through there?
Walker Fowler in 3rd.
Walker Fowler holding on to the #3 spot at the 27-minute mark here, rolling through the pro pits here at the ITV Powerline
like
Park
Jared
GNCC.
McClure. Is that who that was? McClure, or
I think that looked like
Yoho.
That did look like a Can-Am going through there. Got to wonder how far behind now is Chris Bethel after all that. in that
They
first
came
turn?
through. I've got the time. I'm waiting.
All right.
So it's been 45 seconds.
All right, 45 seconds. And
well, that's Jared McClure there. So that must have been Yoho up in 4th place.
yeah, quite possibly, and that wouldn't surprise me a bit. The kid is, it just seems like a whole different era of all the different riders. They all are emitting a different feeling today, heading into this when everybody's out to have fun and everybody's out to do the best they can, and I think everybody's feeling like they could possibly win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess he's on the event T-shirt, so I'm sure he's pumped on that. And
there's
looks
Neil,
like
right?
Bryce and Neil there, so he's already a minute and 15 seconds off the lead.
Wow. So he's got his work cut out for him.
But like Johnny Gallagher, I don't think
Number
he's
4 coming into the
quite-
pits right now. There is Chris Pickles. He makes his way by.
A minute and 28 seconds.
Wow, and after that big win over in Foxburg a few weeks back, you know he was pretty excited coming into this day. Jim Kenyon did have a chance to catch up with him leading into the day's race.
Chris, heading into round 12 here today, you're coming off a big win. How does that feel?
It feels really good. It gives you a whole new, outlook on the season. I've been really looking for it, really pushing hard, but I haven't been able to get it. And I mean, the last race was just gnarly, and I was able to pull it off, and it just felt awesome in front of pretty much a hometown crowd. And here too, it's the same thing. I'm close to home, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like you said, you're close here in West Virginia, well, Ohio, West Virginia, PA area. Are you going to have that big fan base here again today? And do you think that had a big effect on your win last round?
Yeah, they should. Everybody should be coming again this week. And last week, yeah, I think it did. There was a lot of guys out in the woods helping me. A lot of people I just didn't know, but being local, I think that they wanted to see me do well. So, I hats off to them. Thank you for helping me. It was a great race.
All right, Chris Bethel, he's doing it for the Bethel fans out there.
And speaking of Bethel fans, I'm sure they got a little bit of a shock there a little bit ago whenever saw him go down. But, Chris coming into this one with good spirits, and you could see he still had good spirits whenever he went through the pro pits there just a moment ago. So I'm not too much concerned about that at all as we roll through this first lap of racing. We're at mile marker 10 of just a little over 12 miles of racetrack, and we should be seeing, if not already, our XC2 Pro-Am class riders starting to check in.
I haven't seen one yet, but they may have slipped by while we were in that interview. I think there's still, that looked like Braden Henthorne, some of the XC1 guys still coming through, so I don't know if we've seen them yet. I guess just keep an eye out and see if we can catch them, but I guess we should be hearing in the finish line here, and here they are.
There is Mcgill now, and it looks like things are starting to tighten up a little bit. 9 seconds, I think you said a few moments ago, right?
McGill's waving at Gorage as he goes.
We're kind of playing cat and mouse right now. It's all a game right now. Mcgill, he knows that. He knows that probably Chris is thinking, I don't have to lead. Chris don't. He never wants to lead in the early part of the race. He'll let somebody else lead it. But at the same time, Adam's thinking, I've got to try to separate myself. I've got to hope that Chris makes a mistake and I can get separated and out of his sight and maybe open this lead up quite a bit. But right now we're looking at our first lap time at 30 minutes, 32 seconds for your leader, Adam Mcgill, out of West Union, West Virginia. Grabbed the whole shot of $250 from the Reese Racing in Team Woodhead. And he hasn't looked back from that point on, it doesn't look like. Chris Sabort's running in second. He's now 3.8 seconds back. Walker Fowler another 5 seconds off the pace. He's in the number 3 spot, and looks like Stu Baylor, Ohio boy Kevin Yoho, is moving up to the back right now as well.
Yeah, it looks like you've now got Kevin Yoho sitting in 4th place, and only 18 seconds off that lead group, which is just a little bit of dust to fight through.
Yeah, this is the best start I've seen out of Kevin Yoho in a long time. And to be here in front of the homestead crowd, you know as well as I do, when you're around family and friends and everything like that. I mean, I think he said it was 40 minutes from home or something crazy like that. So you know that he's amped, he's excited, and the race fans around here are too. You see them, if you're down on the start line, you heard the cheer of the crowd whenever we announced his name down there. So he is a very popular rider around this part of Ohio.
Yeah, definitely, and it helps out a lot whenever you've got somebody in the woods. Almost, it feels like every turn you've got somebody there pushing you. It looks like Chris Pickles coming in now. He's making the pass on Johnny Gallagher. So let's see what the time difference is now. 1 minute 28 seconds last check. It's going to be hard for him to make up the time, not only just because of the time
I want to tell you something right here. Something that just happened. As Chris Bethel checks in 9th place right now. Johnny Gallagher checking in at 10th. By the way, 32:05 lap time. That's a minute and almost a minute and 3 seconds or so, or
4 seconds.
4 seconds. But
minute 34 seconds.
Yeah, 34 seconds. So that's how far he is behind the leader, but that's pretty impressive stuff. The thing is, Johnny Gallagher talking about today how he's feeling, feeling good. I felt good about Johnny this week. I had a premonition of some sorts. This right here might be the thing that Johnny was looking for. He hooks up with Chris Bethel. Those two might be able to work their way up through the package this race day wears on. As we take a look next out near the 3-mile marker here with our riders. I don't believe that's our leader out there that we're looking at right now, Stu Baylor. But, looking at this top 10 right now, those are the only riders that have checked in. And those literally, I believe, are the top 10 riders in the nation right now. If you look at the overall standings and points, I think those are your top 10 that we're watching out here. No, yeah, he's actually 10th. He's 10th overall.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, but that's good for Bryson as well, right there in 8th place. I think he and Braden Henthor, from what I hear, I think those two train together. Those guys are right there close, 16 seconds apart out there. Braden Henthor's the guy that made the jump in the XC2 class last year after he wrapped up the championship, and now he's passed down to Bryson Hill, and right there together. So maybe that's all that Braden will need to make that jump in the XC1 class. Now he's got a hometown player now that they practices with right here pushing in the XC2 class.
So rolling through now into lap number 2 of what could be a monumentally historic day in racing here in Ohio as Chris Gorage is staged, poised, and ready to tie the all-time ATV win record of Bill Balance. And we mentioned of it earlier, doing it in 5 championships versus 9 is a major feat, no doubt about that. But right now, Gorage has got to get around Mcgill. He's got to take this win. We see Mcgill already take one win. McGill did win last year. He's got the confidence in that. When I talked with Adam McGill today in the pre-race interviews, he told me, you got to get that whole shot and let this thing go out and eat. You know how laid back and stuff out of me. It's, let this thing eat, let this puppy eat. And he was real pumped. He has his motor builder in the house this week, get Mark Baldwin from Baldwin Motorsports and build some spectacular motors. There's no doubt about it. Both got 2 and 4-wheel motors. But Baldwin in the house, and he said, I've got to pull a whole shot today. And he says, I'm going to go with the checkout. I'm going to try my best to check out. And he's trying, but the most important thing is right now he's still got the lead. That's where he's going to be able to keep the momentum in his favor today, Stu.
Well, definitely, you've got a dusty terrain like today, and you need that little edge. You need to have that little lead. Keep the rider behind you in the dust where they can't see, and every once in a while try to blow up the powder berm and cover him right behind you so he can't see even more.
That's for sure. That's a nasty trick, but I tell you, it's one that works. It's an old school trick.
And everybody does it.
Yeah, they do. Bust the berms, drag your feet. I mean, you got to do whatever you can do to get the advantage out there.
Yeah, the battery died.
Trying to get it the internet.
I'm not. Oh, the battery.
Well, we keep talking about the historical proportions of today's race, Stu, and Chris Gorage and those wins and everything. And, I know Chris is not the type of person who really likes to think a whole lot about it, but at the same time, it's not hard not to, and that's what everybody's asking. That's what everybody's writing about. That's what everybody's talking about out there. And right now, we see Mcgill into our picture, and we got a nice long shot. Look at that gas we're talking about. Yeah, back there, still the number 2 spot is Chris Gorage. Talk a little bit more about Chris here in just a second. Actually, Jim Peter had a chance to catch up with him. We'll go down just a moment. I want to watch this ride out. I just love, just to watch it, there's something about the characteristics of these machines that are just so thrilling to watch these guys ride.
Yeah,
Chris slipped by, but I think Walker Falcon might be named the new second place spot.
He may be, and that's the number one of Chris Sports. Let's keep an eye.
Here's going to be the telltale sign of that, I think, when we see this next machine come around. Wow, look at him. He's opening up. Whoever it is has made a big mistake that has really opened things up. Wow, look at that dust out there. A welcome sight for the GNCC race.
We must have missed Chris Sports, because there's the other there, I'd say.
That's either third or fourth place. No reports. Actually, I'll tell you what, we can check out with the track board and see what's going on. So they were saying 2 seconds back at the 2 mile mark. We're out near the 3 right here. So maybe we did miss him in that transition shot from moving to longer valley there.
And I think it'd be very easy to miss somebody on this dust.
Well, look at that. There is Bethel going by now.
Normally he's got the big number 4 on his chest protector. I didn't see it. Didn't stand out.
It's not ripped off the Wow. Looks like gosh, like you said, man, these guys are right on the outsides of these trails and making the situation as hectic as possible. It's kind of like the Mcgill, the oil slick, and the smoke screens and everything else back there. It's all natural. It's all a part of the elements of GNCC racing. Chris Sports there a moment ago and his historical importance of this particular race if he's able to win. Jim Kenyon also brought up with it there a little bit ago. Actually, earlier this morning, actually, he's talking about the same thing.
Chris, now you've won your 5th consecutive championship here in 2013. Really, the only thing you're gunning for now is to tie that all-time ATV wins record. How do you feel about that?
I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty close. I mean, I got 66, and I'm 1 away from that and 2 away from the all-time win record. So we got 2 races left here, and hopefully we can click off 2 wins and tie Barry Hawk for the all-time and start fresh next year.
Now, is that something that goes through your mind? I know a lot of times talking with you especially, you're just there to race and try to get the win no matter what. But do you have like a special thing in the back of your mind knowing that you could potentially be here in the record books?
No, not really. I mean, like I said, I do try to go out and do 1 race at a time and try to do my best. And my ultimate goal is to go out and win. And if we can do that, that'd be awesome to get the record. But it's not in the back of my mind right now. I just want to keep going out, racking wins up, and championships. So at least we got this championship out of the way. Now it's on to another thing.
All right. Well, congratulations on your 5th championship, and good luck out there.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, that's pretty cool. I mean, you got to say, I mean, the cool thing about Chris, as great as he is, he's dominating us his championships and thing. He is not an arrogant person in any way stretch of the board. He is probably one of the most modest champions in the world.
Well, you know, Chris doesn't talk too much. He's a man of few words, and I guess he kind of thinks before he talks something we can all run, especially me.
Yeah, you got yourself a
It looks like we've got the XC2 leader coming through. Looks like he's wearing some purple gear, Carney gear, and the Wolf coming through. He's really had some rough days. I was talking to him earlier. I said, are you actually going to finish today? Well, maybe you should try something different. And I guess he's trying to. So he goes, well, at least he's trying something different. He's going to try a different sport. Try something different. You want to put racing on? Just change it up a little bit. You know, maybe put your jersey on that. There you go. So left sock on before you right next time. Yeah, I think he's had some. I mean, I know I'm good friends with Landon. He's had some really rough rough days. But you know, something we haven't seen many riders do, if any, is right here where we've got this camera is the rock garden. You know, they have it every year in Ohio, and you can either choose to go through the rocks or out around. It's normally a little bit slower to go out around, but you know, for these guys, I haven't seen anybody choose to do the rock section, so maybe it's a little harder than normal, or you know, maybe it's just a little bit faster to carry your speed around that outside.
And regardless of what it is, I'll tell you, I'm sure somebody is going to start to explore that version of the racetrack. You know, and right now it's not so technical. I gotta think as rough as that rock garden looks, it probably looks quicker to go around than it does actually go around the ATV.
Either that or you're just following the dust trail.
And they probably don't even recognize that too. Maybe they do. It's some people that use it later in the race. That's for sure. That's not a bad idea for a lot of these guys as well. Globes of dust rolling up near the 3-mile marker here at this ITV Powerline Park GNCC. We are lap number 2 now. 43 minutes and 45 seconds into this one. And out of the deal, Chris Gorage, Walker Fowler, Kevin Yoho, and Jared McGill in top 5. Jeff Pickles running in the 6th spot. Braden Mentor in 7th. Bryce and Neal running in 8th. In 9th spot, it's Chris Bethel and Johnny Gallagher rounding out the top 10. Here's something interesting. The absence of Bryce and Neal. Our first ex-Century Pro A-Class rider checks in at 14th overall. That's Landon Hall. More interesting than that is the fact that this 11th place overall rider is the leader of the college age 16 to 21-year-old class. That's Mount Pleasant, Iowa's Jay Shadron, opening up 11th place in 142. Rather ironic, but you gotta wonder. I don't see how Chris Bethel could have to do that at all.
But even more interesting than that is, look who's in 12th and 13th overall.
Marshall Billings.
1 second back, 2 seconds back. The college A16 to 21 class that we were watching out of the A class, you know, one guy, Cole Richardson, got the 4th overall at Unadilla. You know, this is the thorn in Chris Gorge's side. You know, the guys that are coming up, and all 3 of these guys are going at it, you know, just about like this every race. I mean, towards the end, sometimes it'll open up, but for the most part of the day, you know, you see these 3 guys hook up and go at it like we're seeing again today at Ohio.
Yes, they are. That's for sure. And that's the great thing about these races. You know, I think grassroots racing at its best, GNCC, we watch these kids grow up. You know, we saw them race like this in the Unit. We saw them race like this in morning class. And we saw them race like this. And some of these guys didn't even race the morning. They went straight from the youth range right to the afternoon race. Only a race or so later in some of their careers. But we're nearing the finish line region now once again, I believe, as we've got some riders checking in with us. This is, I believe, that battle for the college A class, am I mistaken?
No, because they've already gone through
yeah, they have gone through the finish line. I was thinking maybe we had a recorded shot of that or something. But regardless, let's see if we can find out who that is, actually. That's actually College B, 16 to 21-year-old class riders, and that one's College B. I'll point those guys out for you. Billy Hartman, Jeremy Hill battling it out in that class right now. They are actually battling for 3rd and 4th right now behind the 924 Brett Cover, who is 2nd out of Beaver Falls, PA, and Cameron Bruce, the 427 out of Darlington, PA, who runs the lead in the College B class. We're back out near Gus's Mud Hole, which again is, I believe, the 7-mile marker. 6-mile marker, 7-mile marker, and our leaders are due in this region, and there they are now. And not even touching the water out there. So, I mean, you talk about gingerly working your way through and around this. There's no sense of urgency whatsoever. Walker Fowler.
That is Walker Fowler.
Yeah, Fowler is up to 2nd. I got to get back on 1 here and find out what's going on. Stand by. Stand by and let me know what's going on. I'll let you know what's going on. Here comes. All right. right, we see what's going on now, so we don't have to get that report. There's Chris Gorage back there in the number 3 spot. Wow, an amazing transformation there. Not a good sign for Chris Gorage, but you got to wonder if maybe he might just be playing games himself and saying, I want to save a lot of glory for next season. I got all my glory with 5 championships. I want to tie Bill Balance's record maybe at the Ironman and beat him in the early part of 2013. You never know, or 2014. Who really knows what's going on? But I can tell you, it looks like Chris Gorage had a lot of mud on the front of that quad, like he might have gotten stuck out there someplace.
You never know. I mean, you know, even though the track's dusty out here, there's some lines that can get you out. I mean, there's places everywhere. You don't really expect them. It's just in random spots, just like this. You know, you got a dusty straightaway leading right up to a pond, pretty much in the middle of the track. So you can't really judge what's coming. And you know, the guys walk the track, but even still, there's places that can get you out there. You know, there is the Powerline Park mud hole. You know, this is just the Gus's mud hole. This is one of the mud holes you don't see the spectator crowd around. Now, if you saw a camera shot of the other mud hole, the Powerline Park mud hole, the one that all the spectators are at.
And we will be getting some footage of that here shortly. I know Jared Bolton, I believe, is supposed to be bringing some footage in for that. That'll be exciting to watch once he does, as we continue to watch these riders check in. As we stated there earlier, we are looking at Mcgill Gorage, actually Mcgill Fowler Gorage, Yoho in 4th, Corey in 5th, Pickles 6th, Braden Henthorne 7th. There is, do we have a change here?
Bethel's right behind Braden Henthorne, who is right behind Pickens. So
what happened to Bryson Neal then, you got to wonder?
I don't know.
Pro Class debut for the number 17 and the XC2 Pro-Am Class champion. You got to wonder what might be going on there. We didn't see him go through our camera shot there. Johnny Gallagher should be checking in. That not him.
There's
there.
That's Johnny Gallagher. So where?
Yeah, that is Johnny.
Where is the 17 of Bryson Neal? Unless he slipped by Pickens, Jeff Pickens, and maybe also got by Braden Henthorne as well. But I haven't seen the quad. I think we saw Yoho, then Pickens was just behind him, then Henthorne, and all right. So this looks like him now. So
well, you know, this again, you know, these guys are looking rather muddy. So you know, though we're seeing a lot of dust, what we have here is the result of a very wet summer. The track and trail itself is dry, but the low-lying areas have that standing water that is traditional here, and probably a little more in some places than what we've seen in years past, especially through some of those drought seasons. But we're about 50 minutes into this. We're working on lap number 2 right now. Once again, Adam Mcgill continuing to lead. Walker Fowler running in the number 2 position. And you guys got to wonder, you know, how much of an effect is today's crowd going to have on this race? How much of a bearing is it going to play into this race? Is it going to shape the outcome of this one before it's all said and done? We've seen it happen in times past, but we got to wonder, is it going to happen here today? We've got a lot of Ohio boys that are on the verge of some greatness today. Walker Fowler, one of those. Kevin Yoho, who's also in a top 5 right now, and several more, including Bryson Neal back there. So who knows how that question is going to be answered. But I do know we'll be able to answer that and many more when we return with more of GNCC Live here on RacerTV.com right after this.
What do you call a machine that combines precision-engineered handling, industry-leading power, and a rider-focused design? We call it a Can-Am. From the essentials to fully loaded, you'll find that same combination in every ATV and side-by-side we build. And right now, get your own for as low as $149 a month. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
What we got here at AOMC is a huge selection. You can get everything you need for your off-road bike.
We're here to support the sport. Customer service is our priority. We all ride, so trying to take care of our fellow riders.
Well, this is a perfect spot for it. We're on 32 acres here, right in the middle of Appalachia, prime riding area. Yeah, really anything KTM has in stock, we have it. We get it the next day.
What excites me the most is that even after 12 years, I feel like we're just getting started.
welcome back here to the beautiful 19 Powerline Park GNCC, just on the state line of Ohio and West Virginia. We are probably only about 6 miles into the state of Ohio. And I'll tell you, some beautiful terrain down here. So there's this Powerline Park facility lending itself to some of the best TV shots we've seen all season. If nothing else, a big long shot out here. This shot near the 3-mile marker, actually, is what we're really paying attention to. Checking with things here. We've got, of course, Chris Gorage falling back to number 3 spot. He's now behind the number 2 Walker Battle, and Adam Mcgill continues to lead this in 1, 2, and 3. Leaders now heading toward the pits. We're 54 minutes into this race right now, and this should be nearing the 10-mile section of this race course. We'll be taking a look at going to watch these rides and see how things do unfold. Just continue to ask yourself these questions because it's all going to hold you. One thing I can say is if you haven't seen, well, we have a similar sports back there in spot tried to make some strikes, but man, things have changed up quite a bit as far as the pace of this ATV racing is concerned in 2013.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now Chris, he's had the target on his back, but now the guys have actually been able to aim for the target and hit the target. You know, now they know that they can beat Gorage, and they know that they can run with it, and they're taking advantage of it. You know, you've seen these guys take out and beat him 4 races this year, which we haven't seen Chris get beat. So, yeah, exactly. Actually, one time that I can remember, that was Steel Creek last year when Taylor Kaiser beat him. So that's the only time, you know, in the last 5 years that Chris Gorage has been beaten until this year. So, you know, that definitely changing things. Yeah, one was actually here last year. It's Quad caught on fire, I think.
Yeah. So about 2 minutes out before we'll see about our next camera shot, but that gives us a chance to take a look at the XC2 Pro-Am class. We got Landon Wolf leading 9 seconds over last year's champion, Patrick Wire, 591. Michael McElroy, just a West Virginia's number 50, running in the lead spot. Tommy Cruz, number 39, out of Fayetteville, Pennsylvania, is third. Josh Merritt is fifth for the 19. I'd expect him to see me up there back in this race before it's all said and done. It's only about 2.7 seconds back. Actually, McElroy has his hands full for third place. Chad Jones not too far from us, about 15 seconds back in 6th. Then Ethan Martin at 7th. Nathan Thomas is 8th. Seth Bumper in 9th. Jordan Wilkerson rounding out the top 10. We see a rider that we've seen on the podium a few times this year. Actually, Jake Wayne in Hamilton, 11th place right now. So riders are still getting sorted out there in the XC2 Pro-Am class. I think they mentioned as well that College A class a few moments ago, Stu, and Jay Shadron and Marshall Cole and Cole Richardson, they're all about 3 seconds apart. First to third right now. Then it's the 636 Blake Torrance. By the way, they're 11, 12, and 15 as well. Then 27 seconds back and forth is Blake Thomas. Greg Kober running in 5th. Clint Graff in 6th. Tristan Humphrey in 7th. Anthony Herring in 8th. Doug Howard in 9th. And Derek Pitzer rounds out the top 10. Rolling through our Mid-State Chevy Midway report is that it's been confirmed a halfway, actually a 4-lap race. 2 laps on this and working. Get ready to start lap number 3 in a few moments. A good time, at least, for us to check with about the halfway point in our Parts Unlimited top 10 anyway. And there's our leaders coming through the pro pits. We'll turn our attention here now. With Stu Baylor, we see the first pit stops of the race taking place right here.
Yeah, we just saw him water the pit area. You can still see the dust kicking up. I mean, it's just crazy. But you see Adam Mcgill's in the pits, Walker Fowler, and those guys are both out. Now Chris Borch should be coming out of his pit, or coming into the pit. So they've opened up a gap on the number 1 of Chris Borch. I'm not sure. I don't think that he's taking it easy. This is not a place where you want to take it easy in the dust like today. But you know, quick stop for him. He's back out. I don't even think he grabbed goggles. So he's back out trying to chase those guys down and get that 68th win.
67th.
67th one, sorry.
Yes, yes. It's 58 minutes into this one now. A little more than that as we continue to watch the Pro Pits on RacerTV and GNCC Live. We got Junior 822 Plus Class again. We're looking at Michael Marley, Martin Christopherson, Dustin Hendershot. Dusty Hendershot, the 706, running in running in third. Luke Upa, the 452 is fourth. 788 Doug Harden in fifth. Chuck Norris, 777 in sixth. Wes Hensley in seventh. Nathan Hornacek, the 88 in eighth. Jordan Dodson, the 713 in ninth. Jake Stonebreaker rounds out your top 10. The Vet A class, Matt Pierce leading. I think he got the early lead in this one aboard the 939 on the Corning, Ohio. 15.2 second lead over the 530 of Brian Foltz in second. Martin Lambright, the 867 in third. Todd Demery, actually, he got the whole shot. It was Pierce back in second, battling Demery into the third turn. Demery drops after the number 4 spot as Bill Marstill at the 371 runs fifth. 716 Arthur Blystone is sixth. Seventh, the 822 Josh Whitehead. Eighth is the 542 Corey Blinkiewicz. We got ninth, the 621 Travis Nicholson, rounding out the top 10. 352 Jim Edwards. Senior AB class, Brian Schmidt, the 38 out of Polk, New York, leading this one once again. One of the toughest competitors in this class, obviously. Rusty Repass, 704 in second. John Kalana, senior, who saw his son take second overall today in the youth class, is running in third in the class right now. We see the number 5 McClure in the pits right now. Fresh goggles and drink of water and fresh tank of gas now. We also see that, is that Bethel? Wow, that Bethel is already up into that 6th spot now, if I'm counting them back right, it looks like. So pretty impressive there for Bethel. They'll be in the finish line here in about 5 minutes or so. We'll check in with those guys in a moment. Right now, Leroy Shook, 4th in the senior AB class. Mark Spatero is 5th, and David Kite in the number 6 spot. College B class, Cameron Bruce running in the number 1 spot. Brett Cover is 2nd. Jeremy Hill is 3rd. Billy Hartman running in 4th. Tyler McDaniel is 5th. Brian Peters runs 6th. Anthony Barnes 7th. Morgan Flannery in 8th. Kenny Schick is 9th. Christian Meyer rounds out the top 10 in the in the college B class. Junior B class, Jason Dillon, 364 from Charleston, West Virginia, only a 4.6 second lead over Aaron Pridgeon, the 373, has about 28 seconds over the 226, Robbie Pickles. Then is Travis Staley back in the number 4 spot. Drew Carl in the number 5 spot. Walter Schumacher in 6th. Cole Williamson 7th. Richard Nolan runs 8th. Dustin Dickerson in 9th. And Kevin Patterson rounds out the top 10. We've got the Vet B 30-plus class. Joe Kraselek is running in the number 1 spot out of Carmichael's PA. A nearly 52-second lead over Todd Mascala, who got the actual hole shot there. So aboard the number 68. Jeremy Gouchard, 998, is running 3rd. Then it's John Marble in the 4th spot. Jared Ross in 5th. Aaron Delancey, we're near the finish line, and pick this up, Stu Baylor. Look how tight things are now as we near the completion of lap now number 3. Or will this be the completion of lap 3 for our XC1 third class? No, this
lap
is 2. I'm sorry. I'm still lapping out. Thrown off, I guess. But regardless, it's tight. And it's the halfway point of this one, and the 2-lap board will be coming out, as we have been told it will be a 2-lap race. 30-minute lap times is what we saw the last time out for these riders. This time around, lap times are going to possibly be a little longer, quite possibly. We'll see, though, what we translate into. 30 minutes, 50 seconds for Adam Mcgill. 30 minutes, 41 seconds, and I think a lot of that can be contributed to the pit stop that we saw those riders take a moment ago. Chris Borich turned a 30-36 last time, and with a pit stop this time around, he is trying to play catch-up right now. Back with the number 3 spot. He was 3.8 seconds back a lap ago. Turns a 31.05, nearly 30 seconds slower lap time that time for Borich than what we saw the previous lap on lap number 1 there. So big changes taking place there. Borich finding his problems and his struggles, it looks like, on lap 2. And is that Kevin Yoho still not far out of sight of these guys? So Yoho, I'm saying don't count him out for a possibility of a podium position finish here today. Why I say that? Not because I think anything is going to happen to Walker, Adam, or Chris, but he will, of course, be in position if any mistakes be made. We saw those happen. Kevin Yoho is who we're talking about. I don't know who I said. But Kevin Yoho is the rider we're watching here aboard the number 7 Ohio Zone, positioned in himself very well in the halfway point. Kevin Yoho running in the number 4 spot. We're going to keep an eye out back here, and here comes the number 5 ride. That is Chris Bethel, last race winner, and the rider that was down in the first turn. And how far behind Stu Mayo?
A minute 34 seconds, I think.
Minute 34 seconds is how far he was back, and he's already up to the number 5 position. He's laying chase to that guy who's having the best ride of the 2013 season for himself, Kevin Yoho, featured on the event t-shirt this weekend. Jim Kinney had a chance to catch up with him.
Kevin, we're here in St. Clairsville, Ohio, only 30 minutes away from your hometown. How cool is it to be racing so close to all your friends and family?
It's really nice because everybody gets to come out and cheer me on and whatnot.
And you're on the t-shirt for this race. How cool is that?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. I shared one with Jeff earlier in the year, and I didn't think I'd have a shot at getting on another one.
So does that give you any extra confidence booster heading into this afternoon's race?
It definitely helps to get you a little more pumped, get the blood flowing.
Yeah, well, good luck out there today, and hopefully we see a lot of Yoho fans out there.
That right there shows you the lightheartedness of the Yoho pits right there. Man, they just went up and shoved it. What was that? They shoved it in his face. A Twinkie or cupcake or something. A cream puff shoved right in his face. We're tweeting out. We see right now that Ian McIntosh, this place is nuts. He's at the Powerline mud hole, and he's tweeting that out, the hashtag GNCC Live. We got some hashtags, Powerline as well. So thank you, Ian McIntosh, for your tweets out today on Twitter. And don't forget to tweet your podium finishes with the hashtag GNCC Live for a chance to win $250 in Amsoil products. Winners will be chosen randomly, but we'll have $250 you'll be able to offer up to somebody. But tweet your podium finishes, your predictions. Hashtag GNCC Live for a chance to win $250 in Amsoil products. You're going to have to find this what the GNCC racing nation out there is thinking, what they're feeling. Mcgill, Fowler, Gorage, 1, 2, and 3. 0.001 is what's set in Mcgill and Fowler at the finish line. 19 seconds back to Chris Gorage, another 53 seconds back to Yoho, and 49 seconds back to Chris Bethel is now fifth. And there is some footage earlier today from our NBC Sports crew. We get some raw footage. I believe we'll also get to see some of that big mud hole. There's Bryson Hill, his debut run up the big hill. Now, see, Ohio, we talked about it. This is not only known for its mud, but there's actually some hill runs out there as well.
Yeah, there are, and you know, this place has a little bit of everything. You know, I'm not a huge fan of this track, to be honest. It's a quad track. I mean, this place is quad central. You know, that's what gets ridden out here. You know, like you said, every weekend, you know, guys come out here, they come out and play, and you know, the quads come out here and make it hard packed and slick, which is not something I like on a dirt bike.
You don't, but I got to say, you might have a little bit of an advantage over some of these guys. Though you may have not been on a bike for a while, Stu, been able to race under race conditions and stuff. Tomorrow, I believe you make your debut as an XC1 Pro. Am I correct in assuming that?
Yep.
Tomorrow is race number 1 as an XC1 Pro class rider, but you know, you practice with some of these guys. I mean, you spent a long winter with guys like Chris Borch and those boys, Johnny Gallagher, and you've actually had a chance to run some laps head-to-head with these guys.
Yeah, I have, and you know what shocks me, which a lot of guys on the bike side of things wouldn't really expect, is that these quad guys, I think actually Unadilla, the quad lap times are faster than the bikes, and you know, I would say this may be another track where the quad lap times are going to be faster than the bikes. You know, there's those guys, you know, they're getting 4 wheels through these trees, and they're doing it at the same speed. I mean, it's pretty intense.
It's pretty impressive.
And it's really scary whenever you've got Chris Borch or Johnny Gallagher or one of those guys right behind you, and you're on the bike. You're like, if I fall down, it's not 2 wheels hitting me. They're not going to be able to turn it as fast as a dirt bike. What's going to happen? You know, I'm going to get pummeled. I'm going to look like Chris Bethel on the start.
Don't go down. That's for sure. Leaders back down to the 3-mile marker, I believe, and this battle continues to wage on right now as Adam Mcgill continues to hold on to the lead. It is still Walker Fowler in the hunt, and he is staying just out of that dust plume that is being picked up by Walker. It looks like he's trying to go for the pass. He's on the outside of the track, trying to ride away from the wind of Adam Mcgill there, but not able to make anything happen. And we just lost. We lost the camera. And, oh, man, let's talk about technical difficulties. And we're back, and that battle continues. Looks like Walker Fowler made the pass, actually. I think I seen his helmet going into the wood section there first, so we may have a new leader. There's Chris Gorage back in the number 3 spot. He doesn't have an idea or a clue what's taking place ahead of him right now.
I think he does. And I think he can see him in the field section.
And you're right, that was a big field section, but it's all combustion. I don't know if he can saw it or not.
Oh, yeah, you're always paying attention to what's ahead. And you know, him, you know, I know I would do this coming out of the woods up there. I'm counting them ahead. I mark where they are. I'm like 1, 2, 3. You know, I know exactly how far I am behind, and I'm sure that you can see what's going on up ahead. But you know, here comes
Right,
Yoho. He's still not that far behind.
Yeah, we just got an update from Barry Hall. He said that Walker Fowler actually let him off as they rolled into the woods and let Mcgill go back by. So Mcgill is still in the lead out there. Wow, what a tight battle we got going on out there for the number 1 spot. This is good. You know, we can only hope that this is going to go right down to the wire for this one, because it's so exciting to see such things as that for sure. Riders out here at the 3-mile marker right now. That is Kevin Yoho back in the number 4 spot. And Yoho, again, we saw at last check was about 54 seconds back. And he is probably still about that same pace. The one thing that we might see is if Chris Bethel, who was turning about a 16-second lap faster, if he somehow or another catches up to Yoho, but Yoho is 49 seconds ahead of Chris Bethel, so he may have a little bit of a time to wait if he's waiting on somebody to help push him up there to the front of the pack. But there is the man we're talking about right now, I believe, Chris Bethel, and yeah, he's looking a little different, but you know, he doesn't look any less aggressive. He's gotten around McClure now.
Yeah, and it's only a 35-second gap up to the 4th place ride. So he's on a mission.
Wow. McClure, and yeah, so he got him just before the finish line. Those guys, now here's the thing about McClure, he might be in a pretty good spot right now. He can ride with Chris Bethel. He can hook up like we thought maybe Johnny Gallagher might, who's still back in 9th place right now. Maybe they can hook up and they can push their way to the front of the pack. That could possibly tighten things up for Kevin Yoho, and who knows what's going on with Chris Gorage right now. I know that, you know, being back there and so frustrated, and Chris will tell you, you know, I know he's trying to put it out of the back of his mind. He's probably telling himself, don't worry about the wins record. Don't worry about the wins record. And that little voice, I'm sure, is nagging at him, and it's not because it's anything he thinks about. It's just what everybody talks about. Everybody asks him about.
Yeah.
It's like brainwashed into him at this point.
I mean, it's been hard for him to get to this to the point that he wants, and I don't even know if he wants to beat it. I mean, right now, I'm sure he wants to, but I don't even know if it's in his mind. But, you know, we've been talking about it every race, and it seems that he gets to 66, and it's just hard to make that next one. And I'm sure it'll be even harder to make the one after that to tie Barry Hall.
That is Johnny Gallagher making his way through at the 3-mile marker now, the number 8 Cernix Racing factory-backed Yamaha. A rider that has lined up on the pro class in 3 different decades, the 90, the 2000, and the 2010s. And now he's been racing a lot longer now. He was one of the first youth ATV racers on the circuit back before we had youth ATV, and then it went away for a while, and then it came back shortly, well, several years later, and Johnny was a big advocate of that. But this is all that Johnny Gallagher knows right now is GNCC. This is the way of life. And is that right there? Is that our College A leaders right there, quite possibly? That almost looked like possibly Shadron.
I don't think he's going quite fast enough. I'm thinking that's a lap rider. I'm thinking that the College A guys.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was going fast enough, but it looks like the body's English, or at least the build of Jay Shadron that we saw earlier battling for one of the top overall positions. And we got an update on that after 2 laps. The College A have checked in, and we've got Cole Richardson leading this when he turned a 32:13 lap time. He is also 10th overall right now in the College A from the College A class. Josh Merritt, 14th overall. The 19 is second in the. No, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm looking in the wrong place. College A. I'm going. No, we are way out. So Yeah, we got a change in XC2. We'll talk about that. But Jay Shadrock drops to 21st overall. Marshall Goings, 2 seconds behind him, is 22nd. Here's the thing. Neither one of those riders checked in yet, but we'll check and see if they did right there. There they did. Okay, that's what happened. They hadn't checked in yet, and we had seen Richardson check in. He has a lead now over those guys. Believe it or not, all that over 5 seconds. I must have just caught actually Richardson going through. So we do have a new leader. It is only a 5-second gap. Jay Shadron has dropped back to the 3rd spot in the class. He's behind Goings now. And this one, well, he's actually 18 seconds back of that battle. But there has been a big change in that. And you mentioned that there's been a change in the XC2 Pro-Am class. Pat McGuire, your new leader in that one, and now he is 14th overall. Still, you think about it, College A leader in the number 10 spot. Pretty exciting stuff, and I tell you, we'll see about that and how it's all going to pan out. We'll also take a look at some of this morning's racing and a whole lot more when we return with more GNCC Live here on RacerTV.com.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
What we got here at AOMC is a huge selection. You can get everything you need for your off-road bike.
We're here to support the sport. Customer service is our priority. We all ride, so trying to take care of our fellow riders.
Well, this is a perfect spot for it. We're on 32 acres here, right in the middle of Appalachia, prime riding area. Yeah, really anything KTM has in stock, we have it. We get it the next day.
What excites me the most is that even after 12 years, I feel like we're just getting started.
Over here. Welcome back to GNCC Live as we check in at RacerTV.com in this morning's race.
4x4 top overall winner, Michael Swift. Michael, you took another U2 win in the class. You and Robert had a pretty good battle going on. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we did. You know, Rob got the start, and he led there for a while. I got around him, and I just kind of sit down and try to remain comfortable and keep pushing. And I knew if I didn't make a mistake and I didn't miss a line, I would be all right, and it worked out for me. But we stayed together all day. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, talk about the track. You guys look like you're a little bit muddy, but it looks like your machines are really muscling through that terrain out there.
Yeah, you know, the track's dry. It's dusty in some areas. There's a few mud holes. That's where the little bit of mud come from. But this track is real hard packed. And when you get, even when it's not wet, it's slick. But when you put water on it, it gets slicker. So some of the spots is like riding on a sheet of glass. You had to be real careful in the woods if there wasn't ruts dug in. But it was a good track.
All right, well, congratulations on a win there today.
Thank you.
And Michael Swift, winner of the U2 class today and the 4x4 overall as far as the morning class racing is concerned as well. He got 4th overall in the overall race itself today. So Michael Swift doing very well. Actually, Michael's getting geared up and ready to go Baja racing here soon. Him, Don Higby, Mike Penland, a lot of the utility guys are gearing up for a big feat for that, and that ought to be a lot of fun for those guys. But nonetheless, as we return here, we are in lap number 3. An hour and 17 and a half minutes into this battle. Adam Mcgill continues to lead. Walker Fowler in 2nd. Chris Borch in 3rd. Kevin Yoho in 4th. And Chris Bethel in 5th. And the question is, who do you think's going to win? Well, if you've got an idea who you think is going to win, just whenever you make your tweets, tweet out your podium predictions of the Powerline Park GNCC finish and hashtag that GNCC Live.
While you were getting sidetracked over here, I think I just saw a pass for the lead. It looked like Walker Fowler came out of the mud hole just before Mcgill. So new lead change in the XC1 class.
Wow. So there you have it. That was very quick coming back into that one. So you believe it happened or it did happen? Which is it?
I'm 99% sure. I saw two red plates, and I know Mcgill came out of there second because I did see the green crane.
Wow, gnarliness down there, the Powerline mud hole. We're getting pictures, and we'll have some video hopefully soon coming in from Bolton, Jared Bolton. He's out with the NBC crew right now. We'll be getting some of that live footage or some of that GNCC RacerTV NBC footage here in a little bit. We're live right now here from the Powerline Park GNCC in St. Clairsville, Ohio, round 12 of the Amsoil Grand National Cross Country Championship Series. An hour and 18, call it 19 minutes now into this race. And plenty of spectacular things on the horizon here. The debut of Bryson Neal. Not as spectacular as some may have thought. There is Kevin Yoho, who is having a spectacular day in his own today, featured on the event T-shirt. And there is Chris Bethel. We thought it might happen, and there it is. This might be something that'll be good for Yoho, because we talk about these riders hooking up on occasion. There's one rider that did hook up with him. Jared McClure's coming with him as well. So if we can see Kevin Yoho do that, we might see something really wild transpire.
That's what I was wondering. What if you're saying the what ifs? Well, what if we see Chris Bethel come right up into the lead group?
It's going to be. I mean, that right there, unbelievable to see him go from dead last. I mean, literally dead last, starting with the XC2 and physically chasing those guys down. It says loads. It says a lot about the speed that rider can actually achieve out there. It also marks, quite possibly, it heralds the dawning of a new era in GNCC. We might be something happening there with Chris Bethel and his spectacular runs right now. Remember, we didn't see this kind of mesh. We didn't see this kind of spectacular rides and stuff until Chris Borch got super familiar with his Suzuki. You remember that?
Yeah, and we're talking about how far he was down. It's not just being how far he was down in the dust. I mean, you're talking a minute and a half, not just a normal minute and a half. You're talking coming through the top 10 in the world on these quads and being able to make passes in the dust. I mean, that's a lot, even to make it where he has up to the 5th place position. And he's right behind 4th place and not that far behind Chris Borch for 3rd place if he can keep up these times. But he's running out of time if he really wants to make it up there to the top 3.
Well, we keep talking about the competition that is coming. We keep talking about the riders back there in the up-and-coming classes, riders like Bryson Neal, riders like Jay Shadron back there in the College A class, the Pat McGuires, the Landon Wolves, the Josh Merritts. We could even look even further back than that, I think, even into some of today's youth class racing. And though maybe Hunter might not be the rider that's going to get a ticket to Chris Borch, our newly crowned. Give me Hunter Hart's interview. And though Hunter Hart may not have the opportunity to line up and race against Chris Borch, you never know, though. I mean, he's, 12 or 13 years old now, so maybe he will have a chance to line up and race with him someday. But regardless, to see this little protege of him out there on the racetrack, Hunter Hart, taking it to the racetrack today. Hunter, one of the younger riders out there. We'll check in with that in just a few moments. I'm told that our pro riders should be coming into the pro pits here pretty soon, and we'll be watching to see that gap that is opening up between the 2nd and 3rd place position of the battle of Mcgill and Fowler back to Chris Borch. Speaking of Borch, there is Smokin' Joe Borch making his way back to the pits. He doesn't seem to be in any big hurry, so there's no pit stops or anything that are going to be planned for Chris. So there is Smoking Joe Borch. We call him Smoking Joe only because when he gets mad, his ears start smoking. But we'll be watching what's going to be around his trailer right now. Normally, we would see his rider, the number 1 of Chris Borch, in a heated battle, if not in the number 1 spot, right on the rear wheels of the first-place ride. Wildly, though, these last few rounds of the racing in this championship before the break and even since the break, we've got some weird, not weird, but some wild things change. I'm seeing Jen Kenyon make her way down to the Chris Borch pits. I'm sure that she's got the same question that so many of us have right now, and that, of course, is what is going on with Chris Borch. Is there anything going on? Did he make a mistake? Does he have something to give us and show us here in the last lap? Remember, Chris Borch is noted for his last lap charges. And while Jen gathers the info and the intel down there, we'll continue to watch the riders make their way around. Again, phenomenal ride by Cole Richardson, top non-pro GNCC rider, XC1 or XC2, our top amateur as we call it. College A, as of right now, running in a 10th place overall position. Marshall Goings is, 12th overall. Jay Shadron is 13th overall. That's after some time adjustments. Those are your College A riders. They started on row 3. Row 2, led by Pat McGuire, is 14th place overall after time adjustments right now. So the College A class look like they're on a mission. In reality, I think a lot of that might pan out and play out in just simply the way that the championship points are breaking down in that College A class for the afternoon ATV racers. If memory serves me correct, I think we were only a handful of points, and each one of these guys have taken turns winning races and taking the overall top amateur spot on the race day. But as we get down to these last few rounds, this is where the class finishes are really starting to become more and more important here in the latter part of the season as far as the championships and your position in the championship is concerned. And not only that, these riders not only racing for their top positions in their class, but a lot of these guys are thinking national numbers. We do an overall point system, and you see the riders in those top 20, 30, 40, 50. You see those numbers. Those are all earned numbers that those riders got from the previous year. And as we take a look at it, 174 is Marshall Goings as far as the points race is going. 173 for Jay Shadron. Cole Richardson, 162. So 1 point separating first and second. Cole Richardson, Stu Baylor, in that battle in the College A class right now, has the most to gain by taking this win today, especially if Marshall Goings finishes back in third behind Jay Shadron right now.
But different from the pro ranks, these guys actually have throwaway races. Right. Only 9 races count for the A class. So, therefore, 4 races are thrown away at the end of the season, which means your 4 worst races are thrown away.
We've got a new leader out here at the Powerline Park GNCC. We have reports now that Walker Fowler has taken over the lead. The 521 of Adam Mcgill running back in the number 2 spot. Borch is still in third, Yoho in fourth, and as we said, Chris Bethel making his way up through the pack, coming from nearly, gaining nearly a minute, it looked like, at least on Yoho and the boys out there a few moments ago. So that's pretty exciting stuff there for our top 5, and Walker Fowler is the man with the plan right now, it appears. And we're going to be keeping an eye out and watching for him as we go out to the track right now and trail and check in with Barry Hawk. Barry, you may have been radioing some updates, and I'm sorry if I missed them, but I understand that we've got ourselves a new leader, Walker Fowler, in this one.
Yeah, well, now this is the 9 mile marker at the Bethel, and Walker Fowler came through first and right on his rear wheel with Adam Mcgill, and 25 seconds back with Chris Gorage. Actually, Gorage has lost time to that lead 2 from the last time I've seen them. So those top 2 guys got the hammer down, and Gorage got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, Chip Ford, he's also got a hard charger coming up behind him. Chris Bethel's coming. He's made up a lot of time. And Kevin Yoho's right there with him. He's right in front of Bethel, so that should be pretty exciting to watch. Now, what about that mud hole itself? I've seen some photos and stuff of it. Is it as gnarly as it looked?
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly, but compared to last year, I think it was a lot wetter here, and it was definitely, last year was definitely a lot gnarlier, but you definitely got to pick the right line this year. If you pick the wrong line, you're going to get stuck. So you got to take your time down there and hit the right line for sure.
For sure, 10-4 Barry Hawk. Leaders going through the pro pits right now, Walker Fowler and the 521 of Adam McGill, about 25 seconds back, will be looking for Chris Borch. Jen Kenyon is standing down. She's been down near the Chris Borch pits. We heard Barry Hawk talk about, it looks like that he's losing that lead pack. And Jen, I got to know and I got to wonder, are they saying anything out of the Borch pits right now? Jen, are they saying anything out of the Borch pits right now?
Yeah, Rodney, everybody was wondering what happened to Chris Borch, why he was, 25, 30 seconds back. It sounds like he hit a tree pretty hard out there. We're not sure if he went down or not, but when he hit the tree, he messed up something in his front end. So according to the Borch pits, we heard keywords, I smoked a tree and my front end is messed up. So it sounds like everything's still good to go. He's still out there, but he's got a couple setbacks out there.
All righty, thanks a lot. Now, has he made his way through the pits yet?
No, we haven't seen him just yet.
Yeah, I think maybe he has. We're saying that we might have seen him go by. Stu said he might have saw him go by.
We did see him go by. I just didn't see him go by.
Well, neither did I. So it's all good.
Two of us.
Yeah, it's all right because he's out there. He's still going. But I smoked a tree. I messed up the front end. That's the word that Chris Borch gave his pit crew whenever he came around a few moments ago. So with that being said, there's a possibility. Stu Baylor, I know that you've been watching the time. What's the time gap looking like between second and third now?
Second and third is still about 10, 15 seconds, so still a little bit of gap on Chris Borch.
Now the big question is the front two or the fourth and fifth place guys able to make up any ground out there? And we'll continue to watch this one right now. It is Walker Fowler out front. He was less, we at the finish line at the end of lap 2, the halfway point of this one, we saw 0.001. That's like, what, 1,000th of a second or 1/10,000th of a second or something crazy like. Regardless of what it is, it was close. They were virtually side by side whenever they checked in the transponder. So goes to show you that both these boys who have both beat Chris Borch this season came into this one with the same mindset that they've done it before. They're going to do it again. And both these riders also bringing a huge rider fan base out with them as well, because a lot of folks here to support Walker Fowler, and Adam McGill, not too far from the south of us here, has also got a huge fan contingency on hand with us, and that right there could be playing some big favor. But also, Chris Borch, hey, he's got a huge fan base no matter where you go, so he's got his help out there. Yoho, obviously an Ohio boy, he's going to have that fan base. Bethel, not too far from here, and we're going to see that happening as well. An hour and 31 minutes now into this race. And the College A leader, Cole Richardson, again, the big story today, running 10th overall. Braden Henthorn, your XC1 Pro race debut for the newly crowned XC2 Pro-Am champ, running in 8th place in the class and for the overall today. There's Walker Fowler making his way through the finish line right now. And look, looks like the gap has opened up a little bit more than what we saw only a couple of miles ago back at the pits there. And Walker Fowler taking the white flag, 1 to go, and he is on his way to what could be his 3rd win of the season. There's Mcgill checking in at the number 2 spot. And we watch and we wait, and I think that maybe there he is. I don't think Borch is as far behind as what we may have considered him there just a moment ago. So it looks like he's back up to speed, and no matter how hard he smoked that tree or how much damage he's done, he's not letting it hamper his riding now. He is back on a mission, and this could be one of those famous come-from-behind victories for Chris Borch about to unfold here. There is big mud holes. There's lots of crazy things to happen on this racetrack as our top 3. Walker Fowler and Mcgill 5.8 seconds back, and we're looking at a total of about 32 seconds from Chris Borch to Walker Fowler in the number 1 position. Heading into the final lap of racing, and of course with this morning's race, we had Hunter Hart, who is a protege of that Chris Borich ride. You see, it looks like a mini Chris Borich whenever he's out there on the racetrack. Well, we had the opportunity to not only catch up with Hunter today, but we also had the opportunity to congratulate him on a huge feat, and that was another youth overall championship title.
Hunter, right there in your hands is the 2013 National Championship plate for the Youth ATV division. How does it feel to have that plate in your hand once again?
It's so cool. I can't even describe it. Words don't describe the feelings right now.
Now, not only did you get yet another championship, but you got the race win for the first time ever here at Powerline Park. Tell us about the track and what made you just go out there and win today.
I really don't know. Just something clicked for me. Maybe it was my broken arm, or I'm not quite sure what it was today, but broken arm up to my elbow, a little below my elbow, and it just, I don't know, something just clicked today for me here, and it was great track, fun track. Definitely it could have challenged some people, but kids need challenge.
So your broken arm actually helped you win this race today?
Yeah, I've had 2 broken arms, 1 broken leg, and within those, I won at Somerset 2010. I won the overall there. I won, and then in 2012 with my broken leg, I got 3rd at Limestone 100. I got 1st and then at the Mountain Run. And then this makes 3 overall wins, 3 national titles with broken bones.
That's pretty impressive, Hunter. Well, congratulations on your 3rd national championship.
Thank you very much.
And once again, congratulations to Hunter Hark. Speaking of all those breaks, why don't we take one ourselves? We'll be back with more GNCC Live on RacerTV.com right after this.
Searing degrees. 750 pounds of metal twisting torque. 900 hard charging horses. You will never punish your motor oil like this. But it's good to know you could. AMSOIL. Push it to the limit.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATV MC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of tires, ATV and UTV accessories, and OEM parts, to our online chat, customer reviews, and instructional videos. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Hi, this is Tanner Harding, and today we're going to take a walk around Caleb's 2013 KTM 350 XCF. One of the coolest things about Caleb Russell's bike is it's pretty much all stock. You can go right into your KTM dealer and you can get an XC model, and it's great for trails, it's great for racing, it's a great all-around bike. So that's the 2013 KTM 350 XCF. I'm Tanner Harding. Thanks for checking it out.
VP fuels are the most consistent race fuel. It gives us the best throttle response. Any racer using pump gas should consider using VP. It offers bigger performance gains for your money than any other hard part. And the tuning change is easy when you switch to one of VP's entry-level fuels. We will not be as successful without VP.
VP Racing Fuels, purpose-built to take the lead and keep you there.
And we're back here at the Powerline Park GNCC, recorded footage from our NBC Sports crew, and this, I believe, is footage from the world-famous Powerline mud hole as we see our leaders making their way down into this section. Now, this is when Mcgill, the 521, still had the lead on this, and I'm thinking that's probably still lap number 1 because it doesn't look a bit gnarly, a bit crazy, or anything at this point. I've heard that's not the mud hole. If that's the mud hole, it's gotten awfully small, is all I got to say right now. Did they really make it
this year? This year we're running it backwards, so this is normally the easy way for the mud hole. But
some of the pictures I've seen are a lot worse than that, though.
Well, you're looking at this is a long mud hole, and this is only where the pro riders are going, you know, to make this jump. They built a nice little peak up to the mud hole this time, and got a nice little kicker coming in, and you can hop right over it. But it's the guys that are halfway committing. Those are the guys that are having their problem.
Well, it's go time here on this final lap of racing, and you can see that Adam Mcgill, who grabbed the hole shot and an extra $250 in the hole shot award earlier today, and took off, and he had company. And it's pretty much been that number 2 Yamaha of Walker Fowler pretty much all day. At one point, it looked like well, actually, Chris Borch was in that position for a while, and we actually saw at the end of the first lap, Adam Mcgill waved at Chris Borch going through the chicanes heading into the finish line region. Well, something happening there on lap 2. Walker Fowler able to make up and move into the number 2 spot, which dropped, well, Chris Borch back to the number 3 position. Reports are that he tagged a tree and has messed something up in the front end, but something has it's still keeping him going pretty good out there. So Chris Borch is going to be still tough to track down and knock off the podium here today, even if he does get beat as far as the win is concerned. Now, as this race wore on, the battle intensified with Mcgill and with Fowler. Fowler finally was able to make the pass. They came out near the 9-mile Powerline mud hole, and Fowler had emerged as the leader of the 521. And right now, we are waiting on these 2 riders. They've already come through.
And it was still the same last time I saw it. It was still Fowler out front, and shortly behind was Mcgill, and about 30 seconds back, still Chris Borch. And we still haven't seen the 4th place ride, who we're anticipating to be the number 4 of Chris Bethel.
Walker Fowler leading this one. You know, people always feel strong whenever they're in their hometown race, especially when you've already got 2 wins under your belt for 2013. Well, I know that Walker Fowler was excited about coming into this Ohio round, and Jen Kenyon had a chance to talk with him.
Walker, we're here in Ohio. I know we have a lot of riders from the state of Ohio, including yourself. How does it feel to be so close to home, and does that pump you up a little bit?
Oh, definitely it does. We're only an hour and 20 minutes from here. Have a big sponsor of mine, Hill International Trucks, set up a big booth here. I got friends, family, aunts, uncles that have never been to a race all showing up this weekend, so really excited.
Does that really pump you up on the line to know that you have all these fans out there?
Absolutely, because that's a lot of people to let down.
That's very true. We got that big mud hole out there, so do you expect them to be out there helping you through?
Absolutely. We got team shirts, pit shirts, we got all kinds of stuff so we can recognize them. That way we don't have any issues like we did in the Pennsylvania race.
All right, well, we're expecting to see a sea of blue out there at the Powerline mud hole.
Absolutely.
And a sea of blue, I'm sure they have seen. You're right, nobody has even hit that rock garden out there. But Walker Fowler continuing to lead. Adam Mcgill, Chris Borch back in 2nd, and 3rd and 4th place, or 4th and 5th places, I believe is still. There is McClure. So we might have missed the number 4 going through there just a moment ago, Stu. But regardless, that's where we were. It was actually Bethel in 4th the last time we saw him, I believe, at Gus's mud hole. And as we check in again, I believe may have changed. We may have Bethel back again behind McClure there now.
Yeah, I think that was Bethel back behind him. So maybe some trouble in the pit stops. I don't know how he lost the time to McClure. I know that Bethel was really on a rail and made up the time. So I don't know exactly how he got back around. I would say most likely the pits. Maybe some trouble. Maybe trying to get the quad straightened back out after that bad crash.
For sure, you know, and what an amazing day that rider has had after that first turn crash. Actually, he hadn't even made it to the first turn. A couple of wheels grinding together, and boom, he was about 3 flips, I believe it was, that we saw him take out there. An amazing feat. He bounced right back up a minute or so later and jumped on his quad. There was no holding him back. He jumped out and took off right in front of the XC2 hole shot there. And so Bethel making some magic out here today. A spectacular ride by that rider. I mean, he really afforded us a good show so far, no doubt. Taking a look at this, Fowler, Mcgill, Gorage, McClure, Bethel, your top 5. Kevin Yoho in 6th, Braden Henthorne 7th. Cole Richardson is now 8th overall after 3 laps of racing complete. Did you hear me? 8th overall, college A, 16 to 21-year-old class rider. 8th overall. Pretty amazing stuff. As those guys, again, it's about the championship for these guys right now. They all want to be top amateur, but it's more about the top amateur. What we got going on here? Is this a battle for up front, or what's going on?
I see Braden Henthorne, I think, right there, and that almost looks to me like Kevin Yoho.
I think it is. Yeah, it looks like Hinthorn has caught up the Yoho
Maybe
now.
Yoho dropped way off the pace.
Yeah, it looks like that is certainly the case. But as we were talking about that championship in the College A class, they're looking for top amateur. But right now, it's all about the championship. Richardson about 10 points down in the championship, and Goings and Shadron only separated by 1 right now. Shadron has dropped off to 3rd in the class. He's 11th overall. In 3rd in his class, and Marshall Goings is 9th overall. Hard to believe that we're saying that about a College A class, 3rd in class, and still 11th, just outside the top 10 overall, Stu Bailey.
That's that's crazy. I mean, these guys are coming through. The XC2 guys. I mean, the XC2 line's always stacked, and it was really stacked today. I mean, from fence post to fence post, pretty much, and they're coming through all this dust and right up there. You know, these guys, every race you see it, and you know, it seems the last few, you know, since the end of the summer break, these guys have been up there even further than we've seen. You know, you got the 4th overall from Cole Richardson, and you know, they seem to be finding themselves in the top 10 overall, no matter what race it is here for the last few.
For sure. And as we check into this one, Walker Fowler, as we roll through lap number 4 now. After 3, Fowler out front of Mcgill, Gorage, McClure, and Bethel, your top 5. 18 minutes left to go in this race on the white flag lap right now. And again, it's going to be exciting to see how this one goes right down to the wire between Fowler and Mcgill, and what's going to happen back there in 3rd. I'm still not counting out McClure or Bethel, because who knows what's going on with Gorage. But Gorage is riding very reserved right now and seems to be holding a good steady pace. XC2 Pro-Am class, Landon Wolf has gotten back around Pat McGuire. Josh Merritt now into the number 3 spot. There are 31 seconds that separate Merritt in 1st place right now. He turned a 32.37, actually losing a little time to Landon Wolf. Pat McGuire 7.3 seconds back, turned a 32.36. So Wolf on a rail, getting faster as the race wears on. Welcoming back Nate Thomas. We've only seen him one time this year up at Unadilla, New York. He's back with us today out of Candor, New York in 4th place. Chad Jones in 5th for the 220 out of Oldenburg, Indiana. Randy Hamilton, we talked about him outside the top 10. He's up to 6 now. Tommy Kuntz is 7th. Seth Mumford, former top GNCC youth rider, is 8th. Nathan Walpe 9th. And Michael Lancaster rounds out your top 10. College A, Cole Richardson, Marshall Goings, Jay Shadron, once again phenomenal there in 8th, 9th, and 11th places overall. Blake Torrance is 4th, Clint Graff in 5th, Anthony Herring at 6th, Derek Pitzer is 7th, Tristan Huffman is 8th, Brian Post in 9th, rounding out the top 10, Greg Covert. Junior A, Mark Christopherson leading that one, Michael Marley in 2nd, Doug Harden in 3rd. Luke Upaw is 4th, Chuck Norris rounding out the top 5. Then Wes Kinsley is 6th, Jordan Dodson in 7th, Matthew Lamberti runs 8th, Nathan Hornacek 9th, and Michael Merrill rounds out the top 10 Junior A 22-plus class riders. The Vet A 28-plus class, Brian Foltz leading here aboard the 530 out of Sharpsburg, Pennsylvania, while Mark Lambright runs in 2nd. He's about 53 seconds back. Matt Pierce running in the number 3 spot, Josh Whitehead in 4th. In the number 5 spot, Todd Demery, 6th. Billy Marstiller, Travis Nichols in 7th. Arthur Blystone, 8th. Corey Blinkiewicz in 9th. Jim Edwards in 10th. Senior AB, Brian Schmid, Rusty Repass, John Glada, Senior, 1, 2, and 3. Leroy Shook in 4th. Mark Spatero in 5th. College B, Cameron Bruce out front of Jeremy Hill. Brett Cover running in 2nd. Brigham Patterson is 4th. Actually, Cover is 3rd. Patterson 4th. Tyler McDaniel in 5th. Kenny Schick in 6th. Billy Hartman, who was, I think, an early leader in this class, runs 7th. Christian Meyer in 8th. Bryson Hops in 9th. And Morgan Flannery rounds out your top 10. Junior B, Aaron Pridgeon. Pridgeon has moved into the number 1 spot around Robbie Pick-O'Reilly and Travis Staley. Drew Carl running in the number 4 spot. Walter Schumacher in 5th. Dustin Dickerson in 6th. Kevin Patterson 7th. Richard Nolan in 8th. Cole Williamson in 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Brandon Lauer. Vet B class, Joe Kraselic in the number 1 spot. Aaron Delancey 2nd. Todd Mascala drops to 3rd after a whole shot. He was running 2nd for a while. Jeremy Gouchard is 4th. John Marmol is in the number 5 ride. Super Trap, Michael Trapp from Quad Zone, and calculates those morning overalls and afternoon overalls and youth overalls. He's running 6th. Daniel Webb at 7th. Sean Lilly in 8th. Wayne Brown in 9th. And Ryan Rouse rounds out your top 10. That's your top 10 rundown, brought to you courtesy of our friends at Mid-State Chevrolet. MidStateChevrolet.com on the World Wide Web. Get your next big purchase at MidstateChevy.com. Of course, we're watching the mud hole now. Stu Baylor, pick it up if you will. We just saw some action down at Gus's mud hole, which once again is our 7-mile marker here on lap number 4.
Well, the gap that we saw open up just a little bit between Fowler and Mcgill is closed right back down. Fowler is riding without goggles. Now, that's not good to do in the dust.
No, it's not.
It's his eyes are going to be cloudy, and he's one of the guys that always seems to find mud in his eyes. And so
it's always the worst, too. He's always the one that's got the scratched cornea.
Yeah.
The eyes are swelled shut. They got the EMTs down there just power washing his eyes after the muddy races. But, yeah, he can find it. Somehow or another, the mud specks find his eyeballs. But
so when I saw him coming in there, he was plowing through there. I mean, mud going everywhere. Not caring at all. I mean, just penning it because he knew right on his rear tire was Adam Mcgill. So he was pushing as hard as he could, but they're halfway through the last lap. He doesn't have his goggles on. He's got to stay on that lead and get around the lappers as quick as he can and try to keep his eyes saved from the dust, that the lapped riders are going to be picking up.
Well, hashtag GNCC Live, and don't forget to make your podium predictions. What might they consist of? Hashtag GNCC Live. College football. Good to see him with that's Sean Calvert at Sean Calvert 5. He's picking Adam Mcgill 521, and he's saying go Gamecocks all at the same time. Good to have him on board with us. And don't forget, tweet yours out. Tweet your podium predictions and have them hashtag GNCC Live. We'll pick a winner of $250 in AMSOIL product coming up here in just a few moments. We'll draw the winner randomly, so it's to your advantage right now to go ahead and make a prediction regardless of who you think it's going to be. Watching these final turns here as we check 12.5 minutes out. Still got some time to go. Still got some time to analyze some things going on here, Stu Baylor. And Stu, cool and exciting things are you're returning to racing tomorrow, and you're going to get a chance to see what these guys are all faced with out there under these dry conditions. And I, for one, just want to say thanks for all your help all season. It's been a lot of fun working with you, man. And watching races like this beside you, it's been exciting all year.
You act like I'm leaving.
Well, you are tomorrow. I'm going to miss you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll be back for Saturday broadcast, right?
I will be here for the Saturday broadcast. So.
Well, I'm going to miss your analytical humor in the motorcycle side of things. Anyway, you got a lot of intel out there. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder for me to pick up on the quad things, but I'm trying to get settled in with it. I know a lot of the quad guys, and that somewhat helped out. But
let me ask you this: as we are nearing the completion of the season, completion of this final lap, real quick. In a nutshell, whenever you started this out, what were you expecting out of this ATV championship?
Honestly, the way it looks is the way you've got to expect. I mean, Chris Borch is the guy to beat, and I've ridden with Chris, and he's dedicated. This is what he lives for, and I would say that he's still got a few more years in him to do exactly what he's doing today, and as he's done all year. He's the most consistent rider, whether he's first or third. He's going to finish. He's going to make it count, and he's going to get the points he can. But something that I just picked up on the mud hole was there is a change for 4th and 5th. We do have Bethel back in the 4th place position.
Oh, wow.
I did see McClure just behind him.
All right, so that's exciting stuff. Leaders due in 10 minutes, 45 seconds, and our historical day of racing here that we talked about. Is that the historical day that we talked about earlier about Chris Borch tying Bill Balance's record? Right now he's probably got a bonus package or something waiting on Walker Fowler and Adam Mcgill for every time that they can beat him, or maybe even Chris Bethel. But as long as they can keep that all-time ATV wins record in Bill Balance's hand, he'll take it. He'll keep it for sure. And Bill's he's got to be watching back home. If he's not, he knows what's going on, and he's got to be breathing a big sigh of relief, saying, "I'm still king of the ATVs right now."
the quad god, I think, is or was that Barry Hawk? That's Barry Hawk. Sorry,
don't even walk on those waters.
Yeah,
brother.
sorry. I had it confused. See, this is where I slip up on the quad side of things.
It's okay. Hey, Bethel caught up because he skipped the pits. Then McClure got him back when his dad stopped him. So thanks, Cody Critchfield at Critch357. Tweeting that out. We're getting updates on Twitter, man. That's pretty cool stuff right there. Hey, man, I love today's modern technology. Live GNCC across the world, some over 150 nations tuning in and watching. And, of course, not only that, thousands, tens of thousands of viewers, and probably even hundreds of thousands of viewers watching GNCC Live throughout the course of the 2013 season. Thanks to great sponsors like Rocky Mountain, ATVMC.com, and so many other great folks that help make it all possible, including our friends at AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. And again, we're going to give $250 of AMSOIL product away to some lucky winner on Twitter right now. In just a few minutes, tweet your predictions to and hashtag them at GNCC Live, and we'll pick a winner randomly coming up here in a few moments. But Walker Fowler on his way. Here's something, a note of interest for you as well. Chris Borch, I'm sorry, the last, 2 or 3 years has only lost at most 3 races in a year's time. That's the most races he's lost. If Walker Fowler wins today, correct me if I'm wrong, this will be the 3rd time this season that Walker Fowler has beat Chris Borch straight up like this.
And not only the 3rd time this season, but it would be the 5th time for Chris Borch to lose, seeing as how Adam Mcgill and Chris Bethel have both slipped by him this year.
Wow. So big things.
No, this year.
Okay. I thought you were talking about on the track right now. But yeah, right. We slipped by him and got the win, Bethel. So we've got 4 race winners out of these riders. And, I got to caution and remind folks, it's not that upsetting. It's not that detrimental to Chris Borch right now. Yeah, he wants the race wins. Yeah, he appreciates the wins and everything. But he knows as long as he's riding where he's at, things are fine. There's no problems there. And if you think about it, the races that he's won, he's not finished any worse than, 3rd this year, if I'm not mistaken? Or did he be off the podium one time?
I don't think he's been off the podium.
I don't think so. I think he's been 2nd all the time except for this race, maybe a 3rd place position. We can check that in a few moments, but just amazing the dominance that Chris Borch has been able to display here in this 2013.
He hasn't been off the podium all year. The worst finish until today was a 3rd place at round 6.
And that was?
I think Limestone.
Yep, that was the Limestone GNCC. Well, Walker Fowler got his first win, so that's kind of ironic, too. Borch finishes 3rd both days that Walker Fowler takes, or at least 2 of the days that Walker Fowler takes a win.
And
anyway,
did Mcgill get 2nd that day, or was it Bethel? Let's see.
It was Chris Bethel got 2nd that day, I believe.
Yep.
So, wow. Points to ponder, to say the least. And right now, white flag continues to fly here as we turn our attention back over to the pits. There's Mark Notman, former Ohio top GNCC pro himself, and now the mechanic for Walker Fowler. And I got to say, I know that Brock was a great mechanic for Walker, but this program that the AmPro Yamaha team has got put together for Walker Fowler this year is, without a doubt, a great program that Walker has been able to maintain very well as a young XC1 Pro, as kind of like his own guy. But the good thing about it is he's still got good guidance. He had that upbringing with Bill Balance, and then he's got the guidance now of AMA National Hall of Famer Randy Hawkins over there for the AmPro Yamaha team.
Yeah, Walker's got, let's see, 8 national championships behind him with Bill Balance, I think. Is it that how many? Or did he have 9?
Bill had 9.
So, and then 7 national championships from Randy Hawkins. So you can't go wrong with those 2 for mentors.
No, you sure cannot. And good mentors to have. And like we were saying, Mark Notman there, that's him right there. He's got a fresh set of goggles. We talked about the goggles not being on Walker Fowler. I don't think we're going to expect to see any gas. What we will see is goggles. So Mark's got the goggles ready, and maybe...
I wonder if we're giving him reports. I wonder if he needed to get the goggles ready for us.
I've seen that happen before. I have seen that happen.
This live thing's really helping everyone.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's helping everything out. And thanks to everybody for tuning in. We're an hour and 57 minutes at mark now in this GNCC live broadcast on RacerTV.com. Riders continuing to make their way toward the finish line, but first they've got to go through this section, and first they've got to go through that 9-mile section where the big Powerline mud hole is. The footage that we saw, if that was it, not really that bad, but the pictures that I saw, Ken Hill who is going to be posting those photos up on our Facebook page and in our GNCCRacing.com photo gallery in a little bit. You're going to be amazed at the mud flea action that's going on down there. I mean, these guys, unreal, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. This is the one race of the year. It always seems to happen.
There goes
Fowler.
He didn't even stop.
No, he's got 2 miles to go, and he's still got the lead. He's doing everything he can to stay out front.
Probably one of the reasons that he didn't stop is because that right there. But Mcgill's going to stop. Whoa, what's going on? Wonder what he told the crew there. So maybe, man, it'd be nice to have somebody down there. I'm not going to be able to find out what he told the crew until we get him on the podium. Maybe Jen Kenya can ask him in his post-race interview here in a moment. I got to wonder if maybe he's got a problem or if he saw a problem out on the trail. I don't think it would have been with any of the other riders. If it would have, I think. Well, look at that. There's the blue crew getting ready to head on over right now. They're heading to the finish line. They know that we're 2 miles out from the finish line. And Walker Fowler's historical stop of Chris Borch in his bid to become the winningest ATV racer of all times. He's slowing him down, if nothing else. And the record still lives on for the great 9-time GNCC champion Bill Balance. We continue to watch the pits. I don't think we've seen Chris Borch come through.
We haven't.
And here's an interesting note to ponder. We were just talking about how Borch hasn't finished off the podium yet this season. His worst finish, a third. The rest of them second-place finishes. But right now, it looks like the pit crew is even waiting with bated breath right now. And they don't seem to be so anticipative of that taking place, of him rounding that corner anytime soon. At least Dad don't. Dad, I guess... Here comes someone.
There he is.
That's him. Wow, he is way back. So, Dad not in any big hurries, any big disgust or anything, because he, too, has probably got the same mindset as Chris does. Hey, it's a third place. We got the championship. That's what we came out here and raced for. As we are now near the finish line, we are now almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes and 50 seconds at mark. That is about as close as you're going to get to 2 hours. And we still got a few more moments to go as the Ohio native, the number 2, the young gun, if you will, Walker Fowler, on his way to his 3rd win of the 2013 AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Championship, right here in front of the home state crowd. 70 miles from his front door, he told me this morning. And to be able to take these kind of wins, it only makes the ride home that much better, that much quicker, and get home to celebrate the excitement of a straight-up win for the number 2, Walker Fowler. Again, stopping the historical value of this race today, or at least changing the historical value of this race today, and slowing Chris Borch's path down to 67 wins today. Time Bill Balance, not going to happen, but we will see lots of smiles out of the Fowler crew. Also, a lot of his fan is here, his fan base, his friends and family are here. Sponsors are here with him today as they're all pulling out in full force here in Ohio as Walker Fowler makes his way through the final few chicanes. Behind him, the 521 of Adam Mcgill. Both these riders have taken it to Chris Borch on earlier occasions, and both do it here today. And Walker Fowler is going to come out with the lion's share of it all. That's the 521 we're watching right there of Mcgill, and right there's the checkers for the number 2 of Walker Fowler. His 3rd win of 2013, and a sure show of what the future holds in the Grand National Cross Country Championship Series. We won't call it a changing of the guard so much yet, but what we will say is the dawning of a new day as Walker Fowler, Adam Mcgill are laying the groundwork and paving the path and the road for the up-and-comers that are flying in behind them. But don't think that Walker Fowler's day is going to be done anytime soon. This guy right here is going to be one to watch for championships. And This right here is just only the third win of this season, but it's just another win on his mark to becoming one of the greatest ATV GNCC racers of all time. Right now we're waiting on third place. He was some 30 seconds, 27 seconds back. We're well over a minute now for third place. We wait on Chris Borge. Borge had lost that much time. He did have about a 2-minute buffer zone over Jared McClure at one point. Chris Bethel was running back in 5th. The thing to report on that is Bethel's gotten back around in 4th, and we know that Bethel had a good head full of steam going on there at one point, and it looks like it doesn't matter, at least for the podium positions, because right now Chris Borge does it once again, shows why he is the most dominant GNCC ATV racer of our era right now, as he finishes only a mere 3rd place position finish. A 5-time GNCC champion, and one of the most coolest and level-head GNCC racers you're going to see line up on the starting line on any given Saturday afternoon. 3rd place going to Chris Borge, as we have our top 3 now solidified here at this ITP Powerline Park GNCC. When we come back, we'll have interviews with our winners to find out firsthand what today's racing was like. We'll be back with more of GNCC Live on RacerTV.com right after this.
What do you call a machine that combines precision-engineered handling, industry-leading power, and a rider-focused design? We call it a Can-Am. From the essentials to fully loaded, you'll find that same combination in every ATV and side-by-side we build. And right now, get your own for as low as $149 a month. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
What we got here at AOMC is a huge selection. You can get everything you need for your off-road bike.
We're here to support the sport. Customer service is our priority. We all ride, so kind of take care of our fellow riders.
This is a perfect spot for it. We're on 32 acres here, right in the middle of Appalachia, prime riding area. Yeah, really anything KTM has in stock, we have it. We get it the next day.
What excites me the most is that even after 12 years, I feel like we're just getting started.
Welcome back to GNCC Live. We are here trackside with our 3rd place finisher, Chris Gorage. Chris, it's not a win, but you already got all the wins you needed to get that 5th consecutive championship. So tell us about the race out there.
Yeah, it was a pretty tough one out there. I was sitting second where I needed to be, and ended up clipping a tree pretty good, and bent my front end. It's all out of whack, and it was just fighting it all day. So I can't believe I even got 3rd. I mean, it was just one of those days. I don't know, just anything couldn't go right. I mean, bent the front end, and then towards the end there, started running out of fuel. So, yeah, glad to be up here on the podium.
Yeah, we got word that you were having some issues with your front end. Was it one of those things that you felt like you could ride through, obviously, rather than stopping and tweaking anything in the pits?
Yeah, there was nothing really to fix. It would have took longer for me to get it fixed than what it was. But the real tight technical spots, the real just back and forth was really tough for me to get through. But it was just sketchy on the wide open stuff too. You just didn't know where the bike wanted to go. But yeah, glad, like I said, glad to be on a podium, keep the podium streak going, and looking forward to Ironman already.
Yeah, for sure. You know, in true champion form, you did what you had to do to get up there on the podium. We're still waiting for you to tie that you know, elusive 67 wins here with Bill Balance's record. It seems like we just can't get to that number.
Oh, we'll get there.
One more race left this season, right?
Yeah, one more. So yeah, if we can't get it this year. We'll get it next year.
All right, well, we'll see you back here at Ironman then.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to make our way over to our second place finisher for today, Adam Mcgill. You finished second place in this one, but you were winning for quite a long time, so tell us what happened out there.
You know, it's just one of them days. I mean, we was feeling good. The bike was working well. It's racing. You know, Walker was running good. We passed a couple times that last lap. He made out with that front bumper, though, on his bike at Lone Star bumper, and I thought I had it. He ended up diving off into a mud hole and almost flipped it over, and that's when I was like, all right. I said, we got some room, and I got around him 2 miles later, and he's right back on me, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So, I mean, we was pushing. He put a good line on me, got around me. Went down to Gus's mud hole. I hit it really hard. Ended up getting my goggles wet. Ended up getting the lens the water underneath the lenses, and I had to take them off. So when I took them off, it was over from there. So I mean, hats off to him. I wanted to set him up. I had a couple spots last lap that I wanted to try, but you know, it's GNCC racing. If they would call it anything else, they call it winning.
Right. Well, there's no doubt that you guys had quite the battle going on out there. Were the mud holes as bad as we all from out here thought that they looked?
The big infamous mud hole that we usually had wasn't bad this year. You know, the officials and the track layer out people, I guess, you know, worked it really nice, put us a jump in there, so we really didn't have to worry about it. Right at the 11 was probably the worst spot. I mean, I dove into it the first lap and got stuck the first one and ended up making our way around the next lap. Didn't have any trouble from then on, but you know, the field were probably the worst part as far as the dust and stuff like that. We come out to that Enduro cross section. I don't think anybody went through it all day, so, I mean, I'll just ride smart, I guess.
Oh, or you guys were scared of it, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, you know, we got 4 wheels and dirt bike guys have 2. It's a little easier, you know, but we can't fall over. So, you know, let's get this thing cleaned up. Let's get in that side-by-side and go rip on that thing for another hour.
That's right. Not only did you race 2 hours here, but you're going to be racing the UTV race this afternoon. Are you pumped about that?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be doing that. You know, hopefully my fiance Haley will be the co-pilot with me. Hopefully Braden's having a good day and he can get back. You know, it's kind of a toss-up which one wants to do what, but you know, that Blink Star, Polaris, Lone Star, Custom Axis, DWT side-by-side that I have is just, it's pretty titty. So we'll go out there and give her all sorts of hell and see what we can do in that thing for 2 hours, or for an hour at least.
All right, well, unfortunately, GNCC Live will be over after this race here, but pay attention to live timing and scoring because we're going to see this guy on a UTV. It's kind of a scary thought, but I think it'll be good.
It'll be fun. It'll be like driving to Morgantown.
If that's what you want to call. Rodney's laughing in the background. Good job, Adam, on your second place finish. We're going to make our way over to, actually, Walker Fowler's doing an interview for NBC Sports right now. He's quite the superstar. So, Rodney, actually, if you guys want to take it up there for a couple minutes, we'll get Walker all rounded up for you.
All righty, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Jen Kenyon. And wow, what a flamboyant personality. I mean, this guy is so bright. He's and rightfully so, man. I mean, got such a great fan base. Adam Mcgill. I mean, just the way he opened up that interview. I mean, he will take you by surprise. He's done it to me so many times. To see what he did to Jen there, that was pretty funny. But it's also pretty cool that Adam's keeping this grassroots level alive and going UTV racing here in a little bit. We'll be back down on the starting line for those of us here at the racetrack right now to get that started in a few moments. But, man, right now, I know this guy right here, he felt it coming into it. We talked to him about it, and I knew it. I felt it. I mean, it was just a matter of time whether or not it was going to be able to happen. And, yeah, it happened. And the Fowler Fanatics are out everywhere out there right now. You see those shirts everywhere. And, of course, with that, the Fowler Fanatics gathering around the podium. Those Fowler Fanatics watching at home on GNCC Live. We'll get a chance to talk with them right now as we head back down to the finish line with Jen Kenyon.
That's right, Rodney. There are Fowler Fanatics all over the place around here. These guys are gathered around to see the #1 guy for today, Walker Fowler. Walker, we talked about this before the race. You have a lot of people here supporting you. How cool is it to get the win? Your home state with all your fans and friends around you.
It definitely feels good. This is my first Ohio overall. For some reason, it seems like I only win Indiana races, so it definitely feels good to finally get one this close to home. Definitely, you know, with Chris getting third, Mcgill getting second, that should wrap up the #2 plate for the year. So that, you know, it's a big relief going into Ironman. I'm just so excited to, you know, to get 3 wins, a new team, new season. Just super excited. It's awesome. But I had a couple accidents last lap. I had all my fans out in the middle of the track, and I mean, I love it. It's like, woo! You can't even get mad at them. You know, everyone was just pumped. So had a blast. Picker did a great job. we resolved our issues from round 11. I think we're on to something for next year.
You know, that's good to see. It's nice to see you with this sense of relief after you got your 3rd win of the season. If you truly indeed wrapped up the number 2 spot, that's some good confidence heading into this last race and into the next season.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously Chris already won the championship, but to not go backwards, like I said, with a new team, new bike, you know, that's I've never gone backwards. So to stay the same, I'm definitely thrilled with. And like I said, three race wins in the same year is awesome.
Well, if you're pushing forwards, then you only have one goal to go towards next year, right?
Exactly. You know, that number 1 plate I'm staring at right there sure does look good.
It sure does. Well, congratulations on your 3rd win of the season. It was an impressive ride.
Thank you.
All right, Rodney. Adam Mcgill has to make one more cameo appearance here on this camera, but we're going to send it back up to you guys.
Well, you know, we see it there. We saw it in the pre-race interviews, the brotherhood of the GNCC ATV Racing Nation. There's no doubt. I mean, these guys, they have some secrets and stuff like that, but all in all, it is a true brotherhood. Those guys are all out there to race the level of competition that they race. There is no doubt that is saying quite a bit, and that close together on those open wheels, that kind of speed, you got to really trust each other, and these guys do, man, and that's what makes this GNCC Racing Nation so special and so great. The competition is so great. They're so respectful all at the same time, but even in all that, there is the nitty-grittiness of the true level of competition. Our top 5 here today, I believe, have, we've got our AMSOIL finish, or actually our AMSOIL winner for the free giveaway there. It is Jeremiah Cummings at Cummings_269. He says Fowler, McGill, and Borch. He got it right, as a matter of fact. Congratulations, you just won $250 in AMSOIL product at Cummings_269. That's Jeremiah Cummings. Thanks for following along with him and with us, Jeremiah, and you too, along the World Wide Web at RacerTV.com. And here with us at GNCC Live. That's going to wrap things up as far as this ATV racing is concerned in this episode. Of course, I want to say thanks to the entire staff and management here at RacerTV and all the hard work that they put in. Of course, my co-host, Stu Baylor, and Miss Jen Kenyon. And we look forward to bringing you more RacerTV action tomorrow with GNCC Live and the two-wheel side of things from this ITV Powerline Park GNCC. On behalf of everybody here at the GNCC Racing Nation, the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Championship round number 12, I'm Rodney Tomlin saying so long, everybody.